Hi, everyone. It's me, Juss Kyia. Real Talk Daily. So, let me make sure I have this right. Okay, so I want to come on this evening. I'm in California, so it's 10 o'clock here, and I'm sure it's late everywhere else, but I somewhat had a request to come live and answer some questions, which I'm very happy to do. I don't have a problem with it. And this all began because I was recording a live speaking about what we as women bring to a relationship, going off of something that Kevin Samuels asks a lot about. What do you bring to the table other than sex and debt? So I didn't want to go back into that because I don't want to do the question and answer in the middle of that. So, and I'm kind of going to just record that over again. And if the gentleman who kind of asked about this, if he doesn't show up soon, I'll just end it and toss it out. But I am here to, oh, hi. Do you want to cam up with me? We're doing a question and answer, an impromptu. Let me put this up. Okay. Hi, Bonnie. I'm so glad that you are here. Okay. So the links in the chat if anyone would like to cam up. Like I said, I just came on here because I did get a request to answer questions about when someone came for me. When Mr. Kevin Samuels came for me. So I was in another, what are these called, shows or episodes or, I don't, okay, so I'm going to say show. Channel. I was on someone else's channel, and this person was there as well in the comment area and was asking me to if we were going to do a part 2 about the question and answer. So, like I said, if he doesn't show up, Bonnie, you don't want to. Hi, Bonnie. Oh, Bonnie, you're the one with the. I've been talking back and forth with in the comments, right? I would love it if you would like to cam up, and I'll answer any questions in person. Oh wait, okay, wait, I can do it. You know, this is my second or third live now, so I can show it. Yay! You know I'm a fan, but it's 1 a.m. here. Oh. Where are you? Where do you stay? Yes, that's you. Oh, okay, wait. Yay, that's great. So I'm in Cali, so it's 10 here. So are you like in Detroit on that side? Seems like I have since I love Anton Daniels, of course, everyone knows that. So it seems like I love New York. Wait, I love it so much. I've been there 4 times. And I love New York. I went there the first time right after my son was born. And I swear to you, if I didn't have any kids and was not married, of course, I would have moved to New York on the spot. That's how much I fell in love with it. And then, I did the whole tour thing the first time. And then the second time I rented I don't know if it was called a Airbnb then, but I stayed in Harlem. I rented an apartment and stayed in Harlem for a week. I loved it so much. And I went to that, actually when I came there, it was It was like a whole thing. Was it 26th Street, I believe? And it was like the whole street had all these vendors that were selling things. And I have items that I bought. I love New York. And then I went again and I seen Shaq and Shanice and all of them. It's called the Underground. And I think, I'm not sure what, because y'all don't call it cities, you call it boroughs, I believe. And but it was the Underground Club, and it was very tiny. And so I love New York. That's my point. I love it. The apartments are too small, and there's no yards, and yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. But I would have to be like a multi-millionaire to be there. Oh, really? Yes, I absolutely. And then, it was so crazy when I went, and this was my first time when I kind of did the whole tourist type of vibe. I stayed in Manhattan, and yes, I stayed in Manhattan, and we were walking around and doing whatever. And this was my first time there, and you always hear New Yorkers are so mean and whatever. So it started out the blue. It just started to rain. And we was at the crosswalk, and it was this kind of big, heavyset white guy. But he wasn't really heavyset, but he was. But he was real tall. He had to be about 6'4" or something, and I'm only 5'1". And it started to rain. And he had this other little guy right next to him, and just bam, umbrella. And I looked up at him. I said, well, ain't that amazing? I said, you the only person around here that has an umbrella. How did you know it was going to rain or something? I said to him. So I said, well, I want to be prepared like you, one day in my life, just kind of making a joke. He never said a word. He was just looking down at me you could tell he had money. He looked like money. And then he just looked down at me, kind of smiled, I guess if that's what you want to call it, and did something, turned to, I don't even want to say he even spoke to the guy. He kind of nodded something to the guy and gave me the umbrella. Girl, I couldn't believe it. I said, see, y'all New Yorkers are not mean people. Thank you. Gave me his umbrella. I kid you not. I'll never forget that story. I was just so excited. But looking back, he had money. I can tell. But anyway, that's one of my funny stories about New York. Yeah, and I went through Central Park. I just loved it. Okay, and I really want to go. My kids really wants to go. We were supposed to go, was it 2019? And then all this stuff happened, of course, and so we end up not going, but they really, really want to go. And I refuse to get what's required, but California people are more mean. California mean. They mean. They think they better than everybody. They're snobby. If you don't have the right bag or clothes or look, they're they not gonna say it to your face, but they're gonna be close enough so you can overhear them. People mean here. I gotta figure out where to put my camera so I can see the comments. Okay, it was up there. But yes, and then especially when you go more into, I don't know if you've ever been here to California, but it's it's not as compact as New York, because we have yards and stuff. But I live out in what they call the low desert. Yeah, mean. Even Po people are mean out here. You can't tell them they Po. You say they Po, they gonna show, my shoes cost this, whether they're knockoff or not. They gonna tell you the original price of the shoes, even though they got them for whatever, 20 or whatever. So yes, very, very. And don't be having nothing. They talk big money and don't have nothing. I tell you. And then me with my personality is I downplay everything, and I just be looking at people like, okay, I don't know what all that means by you saying this stuff, but you have no questions for me because I'll talk. And the person who requested this live hasn't even shown up. Because like you, it's 1 o'clock there, it's 10 here, a sister 53. I can be laying down going to sleep, wasting this achy butt. Ouch, look, see? I'm achy, my back hurt, my legs hurt, my knees hurt. No, I'm kidding. My back do hurt though, all the time. I injured my back at work years ago. And, of course, they think that you're just lying. I'm just sitting here amazed how I can just keep talking and keep going. I really can. And oh, did you get my message about about my ex-husband? No, he called here today, check on the kids and getting on my nerves. Yeah, but oh, you saw that? Yes. Okay. I stopped the videos because I got so engulfed over here with trying to keep up with everything. And I'm going to be on a panel on Monday, tomorrow, or today for you. Security boss unsolicited. I think that's it. Oh my gosh, I hope that's the name of it. But I'm going to be on there today, and I would love for you to come over and check it out. I looked at a couple of I looked at her channel today, and I met her because she was on Anton's platform, and it's kind of just a free for all. I'm not sure if you follow Anton. I would think you do. I don't know. But yeah, we met over there, and she invited me to her channel. So that will be great. Oh, okay. So back to what you're asking me. Yes, I do, but I don't. When I was recording, I was more strict with myself. But the amazing thing, and I'm going to pick that channel back up because I was thinking about this yesterday because, of course you follow Anton. So were you there tonight on El Guapo's thingy? He was on El Guapo's tonight. But I was just thinking the other day, because I still weigh myself, and I'm not as consistent as I was when it started, but I wanted to share it. I'm going to do a record. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm gonna do that one too, because I know I can. I have time. I am still, even though I'm not as consistent, I'm not doing, because I was doing, what was I doing? 16? No, I was doing 20 and 4, I think it was. And so immediately, like 4 days or so, I lost like almost 10 pounds, I think it was. And then I started getting more, trying to figure out all this stuff more. And I wanted to devote more time to like get this up and kind of running and, and also being at these other platforms. So I sporadically was doing it, but I was conscious of not snacking in between, and I still been losing weight. And of course, I told myself, wow, if I was still like really doing that, you probably could tell it in my face by now, but my face, oh my Lord. My longtime friend, me and him grew up together. He always called me Big Face. And I was like, stop. I know my face is so big. And then he said, and you loud. But anyway, but yes, I love it. And it is very easy for me, but I'm going to pick that back up. How about you? Did you try it, or have you done it in the past or anything like that? And another thing, when I was mentioning to you about like 2 days ago, I was thinking about, I was weighing myself, and I was still impressed that normally when you stop something, you rebound back and your weight just comes back or whatever. So like I said, I'm still losing weight, but when I, like a couple of days ago, when I weighed myself and I started thinking about it consciously again, to be honest with you, maybe after day 2 or 3, I didn't even like crave sugar. No, I don't want to say I did crave sugar because I like chocolate, but I can tell like the taste, like the urgency of wanting it. wasn't there, but I knew it was probably more of a habit, that I wanted it more so. But yeah, you know what, I'm gonna go back to it, and if you want to go, let's go on this journey together, because I tell you, it worked. It worked amazingly. And I wasn't even hungry because the whole night, I stopped eating at, I think my time was 5. And yeah, and then I found some air popcorn, and I would like, because me and my daughter like to watch movies, and so I found some air popcorn, and it has no sugar, or it's very little, because you got to make sure it's not added sugar. And I would just snack on that little bag of popcorn, and it was all good. But if you want to do it, we can do it together. And I will, if you commit, see, I like being held accountable. And if you want to commit, I will do it, and I will do it and be on it and put up a video every day. That's going to really make me do it if I commit. If you want to commit with me. Oh, no answer yet. I'll wait and see what you say. Really? So did you watch the video of like the research I did, or did you already know about it? That's a good thing. See, that's why I like to see me. Yay, let's commit. Starting tomorrow. Today for you. Amen. Hi, Candid Ann. Oh, really? Right now. Are you talking about RN, registered nurse, and follow RN? What's R? Oh man, I hope that ain't my channel. But thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate you, and thank you. Cute picture too. I really like that. I'm trying to think of RN. That's not my diet channel. No, that's the beauty channel. Oh, you are a registered nurse. Okay, yes. What department you work in? I was at ER. Girl, 20 years. Yes. Okay, and yes, Miss Bonnie, we're gonna start today. So I'm going to do the same thing like I did in the beginning. I'm going to do a recording, and then so I can start right now, actually. So I won't eat anything now until 1:00 tomorrow, and just have my water. Yep. And okay. Amen, girl. I love accountability. That way it's easier to do when, you hold, you're accountable to someone else, and we can do it. And then, this is a lifestyle change. It's not a diet. It's just something that we're incorporating into our life. And then they have all those different stages where you can start wherever you want. And I'm going to also, because I had researched it and have like a lot of helpful, I have the whole thing kind of planned out. So I will pick that back up, and then every day add a little something more valuable as far as different things you can restrict or add in depending on what you want to do. But essentially, there's no restrictions. Essentially, you just do the fasting and you just eat whatever you want to eat. But I did it where I eliminated the added sugars and learned a couple of things like that. So yep. I'll be ready. I'm so excited. Thank you for this. That helps me, helps you. And then we're doing the model of inspiring and encouraging and challenging us all to become the very best us. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Candid Ann. Did you have any questions for me? Oh, you float. So you float. You come in, so you're in a float pool. Are you per diem then? I worked everywhere, and like I'm very versatile with nursing. I fell out of love with nursing because of some personal things, but I love the ER. I love trauma. I just love it. Look, I'm reminiscing now, but yeah, I fell out of love with it. And I figured that if I couldn't be my best and all that stuff, that I could no longer do it. So you float. Are you in a teaching hospital? And how long you want to cam up, Candid? And so you're gonna do the noon. Are you gonna do what is it? I should get my card right quick. Do you remember each different one? Because I know there's a 6, a 8. I don't have my card here. And how long are you going? Why is that up there, I wonder? Oh, connection is unstable. My son probably playing one of those games. Am I going in and out? Yes, okay, of course. Yes, that'll be great. Come on up. I would love you have rollers in your hair. Do you use those long sponge ones now where you just kind of cross them over? But I am. Give me something new to learn. I had to learn. I was talking to someone and they taught me right on here how to add the this thing. What is this called? The stream. So you can click it and come on. It's at the top and I can add it again, actually. Let's see, invite. Oh, just do that. Do that. I'll add it again so it'll be closer to us down here. I think my son, oh, okay, there we go. Let me know if I start like freezing or anything, because my son, he be changing, so he gets all the Wi-Fi, be playing those games and things. So Miss Bonnie, what time? Wait, how do I do that? Okay, there it is. What time do you like get off work or like come into the whole YouTube world? And because it seems like, you know what I'm really discovering, because I only been on YouTube maybe 5 weeks now, and it takes up a lot of your time. A lot is required. Like, I get, and I'm sure you guys probably already know better than me, because, you know, you have the creators that you like their stuff, so you want to support that when they're up, and then, you know, and get that information, and then there's a community built there. I didn't know it was anything like this. It actually is amazing. I love it. And then, you know, you have to get your stuff together and record, and then also research, make sure you know what the hell you're talking about. And then I have never edited anything. So people say, oh, editing's hard. I haven't did. I'm like, I go up raw. Ooh, that didn't sound too good. But yeah, I just go up raw. Let's see. Yes, I love, when I found that, I love, yes. I do. And that was crazy. Yeah. And I can't believe, like, I had no experience and I just like put my butt up there. Here, yeah. Okay. Do I just add? Yay!
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. What are you doing up this time of night?
Well, it's only 10 here. Are you on the east side as
Girl,
well?
yeah, it's 1:30 in the morning.
Are you in New York? Bonnie's in New York.
I'm in Connecticut.
Yeah, see, if I moved to New
Mhm.
York, I would have to be in Connecticut with the big yards and the big houses and all that good stuff.
Exactly, exactly. I got 3
Yes,
acres, I'm sitting on 3 acres here. I mean, it's not huge, huge, but it's enough.
crazy. Yeah, 3 acres is good. That's a maintenance. That is, I love it. So, may I ask, how did you come upon my page
Of
or
course,
my
so
channel?
of course. So I saw you on the Lapeef Network,
Okay, okay.
and, I saw that you are a registered nurse, so I related a lot to you, and I saw
Hmm.
that beautiful hair. I said, "Where did she get that wig from, girl?"
I do it myself.
It looks gorgeous. I absolutely
Thank
love it.
you.
And then
Thank you.
subsequently, I, since I work overnight, I work the graveyard shift. So to me, it's like the middle of the day right now. So that's why I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw your
Exactly.
subsequent videos regarding your responses to that interaction, which we won't bother to get into.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was like, "Oh, let me connect. Let me, I just like
Amen.
having conversations with people. I
Me
enjoy
too.
just connecting. Sometimes I can relate, sometimes I can't. And so yeah, and I loved your personality as well. Yeah, love the hair and love the personality. Totally agree.
Thank you.
Loved your laugh,
Yeah.
you
You
keep
know what? And I'm
yeah.
so glad that you picked it up because just just Saturday, I got questioned. Well, I don't know if it was serious or not, but am I real or am I an actor or do I act? I'm like, girl, this is me, 100%. I'm not acting. This is me. I've always been this way. My mouth gets me in trouble. It has more than once, but that's just me, being me. And I'm not for everybody. I recognize that. But yeah, when people first meet me at first, they kind of think like I'm not genuinely like being the real me I'm putting on or something. I'm like, no, girl, if I'm getting on your nerves now, I'm getting on your nerves in a month, in a year. But yeah, but thank you. I appreciate that from both you guys. So do you like being a nurse and how long have you been a nurse?
Wow, okay. So I I've only been a nurse for approaching 5 years in February.
Mm-hmm.
Did not expect to work in this particular climate, with
Oh yeah.
C-19 and this whole situation. So that was, wow, I feel like I have some trauma or some PTSD or something.
Really?
I mean, all of us, not to an extent that I cannot function, but like there's an insecurity having to actually work on a C-19 unit. uh, I have some insecurity about not having a mask on. I'm so
Oh
used to it.
wow.
So there's a lot of different little things that people might not be able to relate to. But, you know, the thing about me is I'm married. I've been married for a long time. I've been married for 16 years. I've been with my husband for 24 years.
May I ask how old are you? Are we
Sure, of
in?
course, absolutely, honey. I'm
Thank
46
you.
years old. Yeah.
I love your voice, and
Thank you.
yeah, okay. I thought you were younger, but I love it. Amen. Not too
Hey,
far off.
there we go.
Okay,
No, yes, I'm 46 years old.
amen.
And
Okay.
I'll be honest, when I bought my husband and I, when we purchased this house, we were a lot younger. We've been living here for approaching 15 years now, 14, 15 years.
Wow,
And
that's
so with
good.
3 acres, we thought we'd have this family, we have all these bedrooms and space, and that just didn't happen for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. I'm not one of those people that feel like my life is over because we didn't have children.
Oh wait. Okay. Pause.
Sure.
Pause.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a pod. See, I started a podcast before this, and I share some stories on there that I'm going to, bring over here for audio. And there's some things I shared in there about a lot of things about not having a child. Because I didn't have my son until I was 35 or 36, and I had my daughter till I was 40. But continue on. But
Yeah.
you hooked up with the right one.
I
I
know, I know.
totally
I've been watching you. I
understand.
don't always comment because sometimes I listen to you when I'm at work and I have like the earbud in and I'm following you and I'm laughing. So I want to
Oh,
let you know that even though sometimes, I don't always get to comment because you know how it is when you're on the floor. I
yes.
have been watching, so don't feel bad if you see
Mm.
that like sometimes a lot of people aren't watching. I watch the replays. And so yeah, I've been connecting. I've been
Wow.
connecting. I know that you have
Thank
some
you
older podcasts and
so
stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Oh.
I don't have so I don't have kids, and I'm okay with that. I'm not one that felt like my
Mhm.
life would be over. I didn't do all my husband and I didn't go through all this work. I just felt like there's more than one way to have an amazing life. And so
Amen.
I became a nurse as an older adult. I told you I've only been a nurse for 5 years, so I was working as a graphics, designer, as a
Wow.
graphics operator in the investment banking field. So I worked for
Mm.
companies such as Lehman Brothers, Goldman Sachs, RBS, which is here in Stamford. I also worked for the Bank of America. So I was creating graphics and presentations for them for over 18 years. And
Mhm.
so I decided, you get to a point in your life where you think, when you think about your legacy, most people think about their children because that's going to be a legacy. Well, I don't have kids, right? So what's going to be my legacy? And I really started to ponder on this and I started to think, well, my legacy and most people's legacy, when you go to a funeral, there's a small portion at the very end that talks about your children. Oh, this person is survived by two, three children. They're on there.
Mhm.
But what is the majority of it? The majority of it is their life's work. What do they do
Mhm.
on earth? How do they contribute to their community? What job do they have? How did they spend the majority of their time? And that's when I decided that I thought nursing might be the right fit for me.
Oh, yes.
And I documented. So I've been a YouTuber for over 10 years now. I stopped making
Wow.
videos for quite a while. So my
Mm.
numbers are really skewed because I was talking about natural hair. I talk about photography. I talk about all kinds of
Oh,
different things and I
I love
stopped
all of
making videos for a number of years. So I'm kind of starting over, even though it looks like I have 19,000 subscribers. Truthfully, when I make a video, only a couple hundred see it because I've not made videos for over 2 years,
it.
and
Mhm.
the subject matter has completely changed. So I'm starting all over as well here on YouTube, and so that's what
What's your
made me want to
channel
become a
name?
nurse. My
Is
channel
it
name,
Candid?
yeah, it's Candid Ann. I've always been Candid Ann,
Okay,
everything
I
Candid Ann on
like
YouTube, on
that.
Facebook, and I used to have a series called Friday Night Confessionals, which is so
Mm.
funny because the Friday Night Confessions, after coming to work from the investment bank, I would sit home on a Friday night and I'd have conversations about the news, about my life, about whatever it was, and I'd get a little, cursey wordish. And so when I became a nurse, I was scared because some of those videos were very honest, some of them were a little bit, racy, and I just became like, "Oh my god, I'm entering this new field now," and I wasn't sure how that would be accepted. And so as I
From your
re-enter
peers?
from the hospitals.
Okay, from your peer. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, from the hospitals, and you know how nurses can be if they find you, "She spoke
Yes.
about this. What
Yep.
kind of a nurse would have this feeling about that?
Yeah.
How can they?" You can, like, as a
Mhm.
nurse, you're charged with putting your personal feelings to the side and caring for everybody, and people really don't understand that even though I might have an opinion, I have the capability of separating my personal feelings and taking care of
Mhm.
you, and a lot of people don't understand that. So I took when I tell you, so many videos
Oh,
down.
you took them down.
Yeah, the ones that I left up are the ones that are very neutral, but I took a lot of content
Wow.
down and I'm restarting my channel, really just trying to find myself and how can I still enjoy this community because I love YouTube. I'm not one of
Yes.
these people that's like, "Ooh, I don't like social media," because
Yeah,
social media really is about what you make it. If you wanna find
exactly.
crap, you can find crap, but I loved the community that I've been able to find, whether it's been through photography, whether it's been through nursing school, natural hair,
Mhm.
makeup, everything. I'm right now I'm learning calligraphy, and so I'm subscribed to a bunch of just
Wow.
trying to do something new. Sometimes it's gardening. I'm in the, C19
I love
situation.
gardening. Oh, you probably already know that.
No, yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I've been
Mhm.
learning. My first time trying my hand at it, and so there's so many wonderful communities here on YouTube, and so I love it. And I really it was being that I don't have, like, kids, how do I still find myself a part of a community? And YouTube really has been
Right.
that for me. And so I love
Amen.
connecting not only with people that I find commonality with, but also I learn a lot from the younger people, from older people. There's so much to
Mhm.
learn here. So that's how I became a nurse, why I became a nurse, and also how I'm sort of refinding myself again into YouTube, how I'm, you know, restarting my, YouTube channel back up again. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Okay.
all about you, girl. This was
Well, no,
this was
I have
about
another
me.
question
Sure,
about. No, no, no.
yeah.
I
Get
have
to know
another
you.
question about nursing because. Okay, I don't even want to say that first. So, is it you got 5 years in? Have you always been in the same hospital and the same kind of in the float pool?
Okay, no. So when I
Mhm.
started off on a med surg unit
Okay.
at one hospital. I've always been within this. Okay, so I work for a very large hospital, and
Okay.
as you know, many large hospitals, they have ancillary buildings, ancillary
Mhm.
hospitals. And so
Mhm.
when I started off, I was on a unit that I just, you know, my husband had lost his job. I just need to I just wanted to get a job. I was out of nursing
Right.
school and I needed a job because
Yeah.
I'm used
Yeah.
to making a certain amount of money in the investment
Amen.
banking field. And here I'm already gonna take a pay cut. I just need to find a job.
I was going to ask you that. Did you take a pay cut
I
in
did.
nursing?
Oh yeah, when
Mm-hmm.
I started off, I took a pay cut.
I figured that. I don't know how much
Mhm.
they make in New York, but what you were saying before, I'm like, I think she was making more money.
Yeah, I was making a bit more
Less
money, but
work.
I made up for it. I made up for it, and
Okay,
this year I
good.
did really well. But I took
Mm-hmm.
a pay cut, and so I was on that unit. And then once an opportunity became available, I shifted over to the ICU. Didn't like that
Mm-hmm.
too much. I didn't like the environment
Oh,
there. It didn't work out for me
okay.
there. Then I shifted over into cardiac post
Mm-hmm.
pre after people have a stent or before
Oh,
people get a
okay.
cabbage. I worked
Mm-hmm.
in post procedure. That unit it was called the heart and vascular unit. So we're dealing with not only people that
Mm-hmm.
are about to go into the. I worked in a cardiothoracic ICU for a little bit,
Okay.
and then I went to HVC, and then after HVC, we converted to C19. I don't want to say the word because I don't want your
Mm-hmm.
channel to like have any issues.
Okay.
YouTube is a little weird about saying certain words on here.
Okay.
And so we got stuck there for a while. And after having, all this different experience and opportunity, I would meet a lot of travel nurses and I became
Mm-hmm.
friendly. They were really friendly and they were telling me like how much they're making. And I was like, what? You're making
Yeah.
this much? So literally what they were making in 1 week, I was getting paid with overtime. I had to do overtime in
Wow.
order to get what they were making in 1 week in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Do you guys have registry nurses out there too?
I don't know what
Nursing?
that means. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. So, the travel nursing, they go like different states and do all this stuff, right?
Yes.
So, if you find a registry which is in where you live, like say Connecticut or New York, I don't know how your cities work, you go to a registry and they have affiliation with so many hospitals around wherever, even everywhere, and you let them know when you're available, where you're willing to go and where you're not willing to go, everything that you're available to do. And they call you. Sometimes they'll pre-book you, but they have to call you at least a minimum of 2 hours before your shift. They'll tell you where you're going, all this other stuff, and they pay you right when you get off if you want to. And
Wow.
so, yeah, and then you're working under 1099. You follow Anton, right? Too,
Yes,
also,
I do
right?
follow Anton, correct, yes.
Okay, so
Even though
if
he be
you
getting on my
do,
nerves sometimes, but I
no,
do
he don't. I
just a
like
little
him.
bit, I like him, but he's a little bit mu
He's a little
Anton's a
bit much
whole s he's a
sometimes, but
pill.
I love it.
Anton is a
I be
pill.
cracking up. But if you do well, and I'm talking about California, so I don't know how if it will work different in New York, even if they have it. But here in California, if you work through a registry, it is absolutely like having your own business because you get a 1099. So they don't take out any taxes if you don't want to. You get all your money and you get a lot, all these write-offs as though it is not, as though it is your own business, is because you're working for yourself basically.
Right,
So
yeah.
you get the insurance, the car, the your spot in your home if you designate it just for an office. So you
Okay.
get all of those things, and like everything that you do, whatever, say even your YouTube channel, if you, then like how Anton said, if you was talking about nursing or doing educating, whatever, you can write all that stuff off. Yeah. So
I'm
that's
learning a
what
lot
we have
about
out here. It's
that.
called the registry. Mm-hmm.
I'm learning a lot
And
about that. That's really amazing. So what I actually do
yeah.
is I Like you asked earlier, like what floor do I work at? I told you I float, but I actually float for the system. I don't float like within the hospital. So what my job does is I can go, because I have all these years of experience from being med surg unit to the ICU to the step down unit and ventilators and all this kind of
Cardiac.
stuff. What I do
Mm-hmm.
is I can go from one hospital, like say you're out on maternity leave, I'll stay with you for 8 weeks. I'll stay on one unit for 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just
Mm-hmm.
float every single day. And then after my 8 week assignment within the same hospital system, I'll float to a different, it might be the same hospital, or it might be a different hospital within my area, and I'll go to a
Mm-hmm.
different hospital, and I might be on a stroke unit for the next
Yeah.
8 to 10 weeks. And so I do
Mm-hmm.
get a higher salary because of that. And you can only do my job if you have at least, when I started, I think it was like 2 years of experience, but I think they might have
Uh-huh.
dropped it down to one now. But you can't do my job unless you have a certain amount of years of experience, because you have to be
Yes.
familiar. As you already know, you only can get 1 or 2 days on that new unit, and then you're off running.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're off running. So you have
Yes.
to have a certain experience with dealing with, trachs. You have to have experience dealing with chest tubes and whatever
Yeah.
else kind of things that you already know about. Right. So,
Yeah.
but I didn't, I'm learning a lot about this year. I did really, really well. I think I made more money in this year than I made in my entire life. So I'm learning a
Oh,
lot about.
even more so than what you made on
Yeah,
during the visit.
surpassed.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I
good,
definitely
good.
surpassed that. It took a
Mm-hmm,
little
mm-hmm.
time, and but I'm still learning. There's so many opportunities available as nurses. You don't really
It
have to be a
is.
bedside nurse. And if you
Nope.
choose to be a bedside nurse, that's totally fine. Travel nursing, I know I have a friend who, I think her student loans were like $100,000. Mine were only 300. Mine were only $30,000, but hers was like a
Wow.
hundred. And I kid you not, she's single. She went to California, went and cleared her student loans in a year. A hundred
Oh, I'm
thousand.
sure.
Yes, she was like, listen, that's where they get paid the most, and
San Francisco is the most anywhere
oh, really,
ever.
San Francisco?
San Francisco, I mean, they supersede everyone. I mean, like one shift totally, and this is back when I was still working. I stopped working in 2017. Easily you can clear 1,500 a shift for one shift.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
crazy. It was
Crazy. Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So, and to keep in mind, people think that, like, nurses, they have no idea the things that we deal with. It's
Mm.
very difficult. It is extremely difficult. And
Well,
so I
that's what I
implore
would.
nurses to get what you can, like contribute all that you can, be there completely with your heart, your mind, and your skills, but also be paid.
So that's what I was wanted. I asked you what department you worked in because I wanted to lead up to this question. First of all, is it what you thought? Because you said you went into this because it's like, what is your purpose? Something like that.
Yes.
Because okay. So is it what you thought it would be? And then if it is or isn't,
No, it's not what I thought it would be, girl. No,
okay,
no, child.
okay.
I thought I was gonna be
You thought
contributing.
you was really in it to help people, right?
Yes, girl. I thought I was gonna be
Okay.
over here just telling people how to eat right and how to be taking
Mhm.
good care of themselves and all
You
these
had the
things.
experience of or I'm trying to be polite. You
Tell
have
it
you
like it is.
had
I'm Candid Ann, girl. Tell it like it is,
okay,
girl.
so do you know that it's all about the money?
In terms of the hospital, or in terms,
Everything.
I haven't
Everything.
gotten there yet.
Okay, don't because I don't want to say don't because I don't I really don't talk about nursing.
Me
I
either.
envy.
I don't
Oh,
talk about nursing on
my
my
kids didn't
channel.
even know I was a nurse until they came home bragging about a nurse that came up to their school and did show and tell or whatever. I'm like, wait, you know what I do? They didn't believe me at first because I never brought it home. But it's not because of this reason. But I really and it might be more so in California. I don't know. And I was working around a lot of white people. I was the only one. Well, it probably was 3%, maybe me, and it wasn't a good experience at all. And the bad thing also was I was the most skilled. They would come to me for everything because my skills are impeccable, and my knowledge and everything. Very good nurse, very informed. But when they started uh, underly asking, like, oh, no, you can't do that for this person, but do it for this person, I'm like, no. And like an example, I had this lady, old black lady, over here in AFib, heart rate's accelerating, and I'm like, she needs some amiodarone, and oh no, she's okay, she's asymptomatic, and I'm like, okay, and then so we went back and forth, and this doctor already knew his character, but anyway, over here we have Miss Betty Sue. Her ankle hurts. Oh, let's give her blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna give it to Betty Sue. But meanwhile, over here, she's up in the 156 or whatever. So this is the day I got fired. One of the times I got fired, I proceeded to. It was a whole deal. Curse them out and be like, this ain't cool. So then I took a step back and thought about it. And then so when I started, it's easy to find a job. And I told the truth. I said I couldn't do, told them the truth, got hired somewhere else, even a bigger hospital. Actually, that's when I went to a trauma unit. And this is when I really discover how much I did not like nursing anymore. And I have just my opinion. I'm not trying to talk you out of it, please.
Oh no,
I know,
I appreciate your wisdom because I've only been doing this for 5 years, and
yeah.
I've already had a few experiences, which I'll share later. But I don't want to interrupt you. I want to hear
Okay.
this. This is good.
Yeah, I have no respect for nursing at all. I don't even like to really share, but it is who I am. I've been it so long, I have no respect for the profession. I have no respect, essentially, for the doctors, especially for administrative. I see too much of what goes around or what goes on all around the whole operation of it. I have no respect for the profession at all. And even when I see like heroes work here, I just say it's such an insult. I take no pride in it at all. I rarely, and the only reason I'm talking to you about it because you're a nurse. And then I'm even selective when I share this to another nurse because I don't want to detour them because of my experience.
No, I
But
understand
I have
that.
no respect for it at
I
all. And
understand that.
even when I go into the hospital, it's like I don't tell them I'm a nurse because I want to see exactly what they're going to do, which I already know. But when it goes too far, that's when I'll be like, hold up, and I'll speak up. But that's just my, yeah.
Right. Listen, I've only been a nurse for 5 years, and
Yeah.
one of the things that so far that I enjoy is because, I've only been a nurse for 5 years, so I have a certain amount of skills. I'm not the best nurse, and definitely not a new nurse,
Yeah.
but I live in a predominantly white neighborhood, and when I do see people that look like me, for a certain demographic of people, just seeing that RN on my badge is enough for them to listen and respect me and to take my word and to follow through on what I'm saying. However, in our community, I've noticed that people don't trust medical staff. People do not trust doctors. People do not trust. And so when they see me,
And they
there's a
shouldn't.
little sigh of relief, like, oh, okay, here's a black nurse. She gonna give me the real. And I really feel the
Mm-mm-mm.
need to continue to be there because I'm going to sit you down and tell you, listen, brother, listen, sister, listen. I'm from the Caribbean also, and
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. You don't have to like it. I'm going to be respectful. I think I have a
Mm-hmm.
way of speaking to. I think what's great about me personally is, my family comes from, like I told you, Barbados. And this is Barbados back. I'm born in 1975. My mom was born in 1950. This is not what you think about with Rihanna and the beautiful Barbados that you're seeing. I'm talking about as a native in a country, an outhouse, no shoes,
Mm.
bathing outside by a pipe that runs down. So I'm just talking. So I have the ability to be very humble, and I live in a really nice neighborhood right now. Like I told you, 3 acres. So I'm very
Yeah.
comfortable in a lot of situations that others would find disheartening or they'd find like, oh my God, I couldn't do that. I'm okay. Dude, you don't have a bed. I can sleep on the floor. It's okay. I say all of this to say that when I have a patient that is very wealthy, I can talk to you. When I have a patient that's homeless, I can talk to you. Right. That's just
Absolutely.
because of my background and because, hey, we're nurses, we do that.
Yeah.
But in terms of dealing with like that situation that you mentioned where you have one patient whose heart rate is in the 150s and they need an amiodarone drip.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not arguing with their body. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call an RRT. I'm gonna call an RRT. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna find any reason to get you what I think you deserve. You could be unconscious. Let me find a twitch that I listen.
What's the RRT?
Oh, for us, an RRT is rapid response team. All right. Some people call it the SWAT team.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, and that would have been overdoing it because she was asymptomatic. So that wouldn't have been appropriate. He needed to do his job for one, but I don't know if it's the same way in New York. Like the doctors and nurses is two separate entities totally, which is crazy. We don't even technically are on the same team. The doctors are not for the nurses, but of course the nurses do everything, and you hint and tell the doctors what needs to be done about everything. You want this, right? You have to figure out the way to say it to make it seem like they're saying it or whatever. But yeah, that wouldn't have been, and plus he was a director too.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so it wasn't for the rapid response team. It wasn't that serious. It's just
Right.
something that he needed to address because essentially, even if he wouldn't, and if something happens, I'm the one who's more
Absolutely.
responsible than him. So I'm
Right.
like, you really up here fucking with me right now,
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then I know what it is. It's stuff. And you know what the crazy part is, Anne? That before I started working there, I had took my daughter when she was 3, I believe, and she all of a sudden she couldn't walk. She was just scooting everywhere, and I took him.
Mm.
And then he was the same doctor. He was just going to discharge us. He's like, she just, I don't know, she whatever he said. Well, I said, well, I'm telling you, if you discharge me, I'm going to another hospital because my baby, there's something wrong. It's something wrong. So come to find out, so he ended up transferring us to Children's Hospital, and my baby had rhabdo. You know what rhabdo is, right?
Rhabdomyolitis.
Yes, yes. Her CK, I'm trying to think how high. It was like out the window high.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
her kidneys were about to fail. I don't
Mm.
remember the number, but it was about to fail. And we
Mhm.
was in the hospital for a week. So how great God is, no, because I'm like, where he at? And I end up working with him. It's just, it's a small community. And I told him, and he was like, really? I'm like, yeah, really, overly not, really. And then so he's like, oh, I'm glad that I ordered that CK. I said, oh, you glad that they over there at Children's Hospital told you to do this and transfer us? But I just kind of laughed it off like I was kidding. But see, that's the type of doctors, they get so tainted. Is that the right word? Tainted. Like they think everyone's lying. They don't believe anyone. They're not treating people by what they say, the way we're trained and the way they're trained. They just think everyone's lying. And this is some bullshit, and I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to go the extra mile to really assess this patient and really get this patient's history. So that's where my frustration is. Well, one of them, the main thing is the administrative part, the
Oh,
money side.
the people are leaving left and right due to administration. Yeah, people are leaving
Oh, that's where
left
the money
and
is, and
right.
it kills me because I don't. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say it because once you get up there, but see, the thing is, I don't know how it works in New York, but once you get up there, they say all these things and put all these policies to be implemented, right? And then they know it's almost impossible for this nurse to do all these things as far as standard of care and doing everything you're supposed to do. And, you know, in ER, we can have up to 4 patients. If you don't have a trauma patient, then you only get 1, and they know it's impossible. So essentially, you have to lie. You have to lie on your documentation. You have to lie and you did this, and you got to take all these shortcuts. And so every time we have meetings, I'm like, but that's almost virtually impossible to do, you know, and, you know, learn your patient and do all this stuff. So they'll still talk all that bull crap like we're gonna reteach you, Kyia, since you're not getting it. I'm like, I'm getting it, but okay. And then my point is, once something happens, oh, that's not how we supposed to do. She never said blah 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 that wasn't durable, or she never did this. That's why you need everything in writing for one too. Because it's all about the money. And at that point, they don't even know you. And then even if they don't get the supplies to you and you're telling them, and you know, us as nurses, we're going to do what we got to do to take care of our patient. So once you figure out a different way to do it, but it's not under the standard of the policy or within what you're supposed to do, they throwing you right under the bus, right in your face.
Right.
You know, and it's that type of things. And then when they go in front of people and they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to work on that or whatever. And then they go behind and they're talking about these peoples like they're a piece of shit. And I'm like, you know, I just have no, I mean, and this is not one hospital, 2 hospitals. This everywhere I have worked. I have worked at multiple hospitals over the years.
Right.
And then the final draw is it got worse with people coming in like in the ambulance. Yeah, they shouldn't have called the ambulance, but okay, it's there for them. No, they shouldn't, you know, do certain things. No, they shouldn't come to the ER and complain about that. But you've been a doctor for all these years. You already know what's going to happen. So why are you complaining and not taking care of this person? You know, it's like, that's what, and we get paid good for it, essentially, you know?
Right. So I haven't gotten there yet. See, because I work on the unit. I would never work in the ED. I'm scared of the ED. You don't know what's coming in. You don't know if someone's overdosing. I know. I couldn't do it. See, people are coming in with bed bugs. People are coming in with lice. People are coming in with all kinds of stuff. And I enjoy reading the nurse's note from the ED so that I can see what I'm about to step into. But you don't know if this person is high off of PCP. You don't know if they are a drug person or if they are a gang member. You don't know. And
that's
so I can't, no, child, I can't.
You get these trauma comes in, and even though of course I'm not smiling as hard because of the person, it's just that the adrenaline, and then to see the outcome, you know, you get them up
Absolutely. Oh, I know.
and all this stuff, and you were there for them.
And you were able to help them, and no one's there. Of course, I understand. Listen, I understand you're smiling nurse, so I understand what you're talking about when you like, oh yes, I got it. I nailed it. I figured it out. I understand that 100%. I really do. But I couldn't do the ED. There's certain sectors of nursing that I know would not be a good fit for me. I know that psychiatric nursing, even though we deal with dementia and psych patients, I would not dedicate myself to being like people that are completely healthy, but they only have a psych issue. That would be really difficult for me. I would never try to work in the emergency department because I don't think that would be a good fit for me. But what's great about nursing is, you know, you have so many opportunities to work in so many different areas. If you love kids, you can work in the pediatric ward. You can work in labor and delivery. You can work in maternity. You can work in the psych ward. Some people love the psych ward, you know, and so that's what's wonderful about nursing.
Psych nurses love the psych ward.
They do.
You know, if you will always know a psych nurse because she just as crazy as her patient. I promise you, I have never ran into a psych nurse that wasn't crazy. I'm like, these psych nurses be taking those medicine, those pills. I know they do because they crazy, they loony. Look all run down and disheveled, and I'm like, get yourself together. At least try to hide the fact you're taking the pills.
So it's great about nursing is that I love the opportunity. Like when I worked in the investment banking field as a a graphics person, I felt stuck. I felt that my
Mhm.
yeah, I felt that my the amount of money that I made was all dependent on my manager. He decided how much I was able to make. He decided whether I got a bonus, how much my bonus would be. He
Mm.
decided whether I would be able to get overtime or not. And as a nurse, there's so much more freedom. Just talking about it as a career, not talking about it, things in terms of a patient, but if I want to be a travel nurse, I can make so much more money. If I want to be a psych nurse, if I want to be a diabetic educator, whatever I want to do, I have a lot more opportunity to really dig deep into the area that I love. Into if I'm into hearts and cardiovascular health, I can dig deep and focus on that. If I'm into urology, if I'm this, you can really specialize and really give into your community the things that you're interested in. And so that's what I love about the field. I'm not at
Mhm.
the point where I'm seeing all of the I'm not disillusioned and disheartened yet. There are some things that I see that's
Yes.
very
Oh, yeah.
frustrating, but the frustration for me at this point really comes when you have a patient that's a frequent flyer and it
Mhm.
feels like, what am I doing here? Like, I just last week we detoxed you. Just last week, y- whether it's smoking, oh my God, forget drugs, because drugs is a whole other thing, but
Mhm.
the smoking, after getting your lungs stronger and giving you prednisone and helping you with all that, you went out and you started smoking again.
But you
It's
know the
oh
problem there, though, and even though they say, because you're supposed to get this post care, and I'm not taking the accountability away from the person. Essentially, it is on that person, but it's I have seen that it's a lot of lack of post care, like follow up. We write out these care plans and we write out, what the expectation is. And they go to a case manager, nurse, and supposed to follow up and do these things. But I know here, even though they have people in those positions, this is going back to me saying I don't have much respect for it, because they don't follow up, but they'll write it up because they know no one's gonna. This person, he especially if he's an alcoholic, he's not gonna remember, or he don't care.
mm,
You know what I mean? So that I'm talking. I see a lot of like
right.
you didn't even go, but they're getting paid for it, and they're writing up the paperwork.
Oh
And
wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, so that post care, when you get more freedom and you're not under like the scrutiny of being in the hospital, a lot of things go on there that should not be going on, even with these kids and just yeah, it's the whole. And the thing of it is, they know, but essentially they don't care because we're talking about too much money. It's way too much money, and they're short, and they put all of this responsibility on people. That it's impossible. That's what I'm going back to. It's impossible, but these people want their job and their livelihood, so you do what you got to do. But you figure out
Right,
ways, and
right.
that's and then the point is upper management, administrative, they know, but it's not a problem until someone get caught. Oh, they don't know nothing. They can't believe it, but they've been knowing the whole time. But they're not going to say anything until it gets out and get caught, you know,
Wow.
type of thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's only been 5 years for me, so I haven't seen as much as you have.
Yeah, I've seen too much.
I haven't
And
seen.
that's what I hate, that I've seen too much. And I have no, it was like maybe the last 2 years I kept wanting to quit, and I was just praying. And, and as you know, I'm the one making the money, I'm the only one. And I just prayed and prayed. And it got to a point to where, this is a true story. I was driving to work and I prayed to God. I was crying, just crying, and for Him to take this job away from me because I couldn't quit, and I was that unhappy. And yep, I made a mistake that night. and didn't realize it. Did not. And I promise to God, this is the truth. I didn't even realize it. And it wasn't a good mistake at all. And, we're union and stuff. And I was off for the next 2 days, and I got a phone call from my manager, which I've never had. So I knew something was wrong. And she's like, you need to contact your union rep and come see me. I'm like, what happened? She's like, we'll tell you get here. And so it was an error. And I didn't want to fight it. So I contacted the union rep, and they said, well, you got these choices and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, I know. And I didn't go back to work. I resolved that and did what I had to do. And he took that away from me. And I was so grateful. I was thanking him. I didn't know what was going to happen next. I know nothing else, but I was thanking the Lord. I didn't want to tell my husband, and I told my daughter first. I think she was 10 at the time or something. And but yeah, that actually was the one of the happiest days of my life when he took it away. And since 2017, I have not worked again. And I'm just now learning about money from Anton. I wish I was making all that money in New Anton then. I would be a multi-millionaire now. I wish. And had no money, but the Lord, I have to give him all credit, has carried me all the way until this very day.
So what are you doing now? What do you do? Are you doing YouTube? That's okay.
No, I'm laughing because it's true. I just, have money. I have money put up, and just
there you go. Good for you.
I just, and I knew for years. So I was writing a book. And then it was when I said, okay, now I can write my book. I can do what I want to do to inspire women. I want to feed the homeless. I was feeding the homeless for a while, and I could do, and I can give to my community. And that's what really empowers me. And so then I got introduced to this YouTube world, and I'm like, well, that's better than a book, Lord. Don't you agree?
Yeah, YouTube is amazing.
And so I started the podcast, but I was like, gosh, I don't know how this is gonna take forever to make some money. I said, what we gonna do, Lord? What we gonna do? So I'm out here totally 100% on faith, and you're the first person I told this. I can't believe I'm sharing this, but
the funny thing is about that, I hear that comment when people speak to me. Oftentimes, I hear this comment a lot. Two of the comments that I hear a lot when people interact with me is, I haven't told anybody this. You're the only person I told this. And the other comment that I get a lot is, Andrea, you should be a teacher. I don't know why I get that comment.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to say a teacher. I was going to say like a counselor or a meditator type, whatever they do. Your voice is very, like, I could just sit and really just listen to your voice and just meditate. I think like if you would do some meditation tapes, I have listened to them, and I finally learned how to meditate through this, and I love meditation. Absolutely love it. That's what I was thinking, because your voice and your tone is amazing.
Oh, thank you. So I've been working lately. I've been revamping my channel. I've been working on telling stories, telling life lessons, and they're mostly voiceovers. And so I'm hoping.
What is a voiceover? What does that mean?
Well, just basically, like I'm here right now, just talking to you without a face, just telling a story. No video, no graphics, just over here telling a story about something that have happened to me or a lesson that I learned. And so I'm wondering, like, I didn't know I had a nice voice. Maybe I can do something with that.
Nice voice.
Maybe I can. I don't know what I could do with that. I'm trying to. It's funny how you really don't realize things about yourself until you get comments in the comments section. And so now I'm really starting to think, what can I do with that? Can I voice over books? Or I don't even know anything about meditation. I don't even know. So it's a whole journey.
Meditation. Ooh, those white people will eat you up. And I'm not even kidding.
Really?
I just hear it. I hear it all in you. And it's rare that but I mean, of course it would have to be your passion, I believe that. But if you research that and that become your passion, I can is this the actual picture of you two here?
Yes, that is me.
Oh, girl, you got the whole look. I'm telling you, and you a nurse, so you can have your own licensed studio. There's so much you can do, like with your degree with nursing. You can have a wellness and health clinic where you're doing meditation, you're doing all yoga, all this stuff, and then you can even be doing Botox. You can have your whole. I don't know if y'all do all that out there, but you can have your whole center, and you can manage, and you don't need a doctor there because you're not doing anything invasive. You're not doing like invasive procedures or anything. They have those clinics down here. They be cleaning up down here.
Wow.
One procedure, I seen this one, like you can go in there, one person go in there probably less than an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 90 minutes, and spend well over $800 easily.
Wow. Wow.
Easily. But yeah,
Wow.
that they have those type of things here. And you have that whole vibe. You can, girl.
So right now, we'll see. I don't know where it's going to take me, but right now I'm just
Yeah,
interested in perfecting, learning how to speak clearly, learning how to not
you
say
know you do.
like things like that. Just trying to do the best that I can. So as I revamp my channel, mm, we're just
I
trying
can't wait.
to.
I'm excited. I'm gonna go right over
Oh,
to your
oh.
channel.
Well,
Absolutely.
thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Yes.
Yeah. But
I'm
so I
that
have a lot to
person
learn
that
about nursing. I have a lot to learn about nursing, and I'm
mhm,
still pretty excited about just, I had a patient just the other day that she lived in a predominantly white neighborhood. I'm not going to say where,
mhm.
and she was in an interracial relationship for many years. And as soon as I walked in the room, she was like, "Oh, so happy to see someone black. Oh, and that's
Oh,
not to say that the white nurses would not give her the same amazing
mhm.
standard of care, but
It's
for
not to
some
say that, you
reason,
sure?
no, I'm still a nurse, so I gotta be, you know, I'm still working girl. So
Politically correct.
yeah, I gotta yeah,
I
exactly,
don't have to be.
exactly. You don't have to be, but I still working. But but she felt, just from the patient's point of view and from her perspective, just by looking at me, she felt, I can
Mm-hmm.
relax. I can talk to you. You understand how I feel about my hair, this wig. I don't have to explain all of that to
Mm-hmm.
you. And she just felt an immediate connection, even if it was on the most superficial level. We had already broken a barrier in trying to get to know one another, and her being able to be honest with me and speak to me about what was troubling
Mm-hmm.
her and her feelings. And because, medicine and nursing
Oh,
isn't just about giving the pills, it's about the whole,
that's it.
like, when you go home, who's going to take care of you? Are you going to be able to do this? And she felt an
Yep.
immediate connection. So I at this point, as it pertains to my community, I feel a sense of needing to be there still. Still,
That
we'll
is
see how
so.
long that lasts.
When you talk like that, I can remember those days. I can, like, just from you sharing that story, I can remember so many episodes of that. And like I said, like the last 3 so years, I know I initially said two, but it probably was longer than that. I just got so tainted and so I just didn't like it at all anymore. But when you share that story, I can like think back
Yeah.
and remember those times. And I just hate that that was taken away from me. I hate that I learned so much more than, you know, what
Right,
I
right.
learned. But of course, it was meant to be, and I'm so glad I am where I am today. And I do have all that experience and what I learn from a lot of people. I got a lot of letters, and as far as gratitude, and my person, and I'm just like this, even on the floor, silly. I'm nosy. I asked everybody, like, well, okay, what's that, and whatever, and so it was good. And as the Lord says, or not the Lord, as people say that believe and stuff, there's a season for everything. And because at one point I was I got to a point at the end too. I was just chasing the money. The money was getting better and better, and I was figuring it out even more so. And taxes was killing me, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I love that. Now, you brought me back to think about those times,
Yeah, so
but
that's where I'm at right now. That's the
that's
space that I'm
good.
sitting in right now. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future,
And
and
you might stay there. That'd
I
be
hope
great.
so.
Yeah.
I hope
I hope
so.
so for you. I do. I do. But we friends now, and so I'm gonna tell
Hey.
you now. I'm not the person to call, the nurse to call if you need encouragement to stay with it. I'm joking. I'm
That's
joking.
okay. That's
I
okay.
would no. I am joking. I would, but the only thing is, that I'm a little tainted now, and I will always give you my honest answer,
And
no
that's what I
matter what,
appreciate. My
no
closest
matter.
friends, the people that I hold near and dear to my heart, they check
Hmm.
me and they tell me the honest truth.
Hmm.
I don't
I'll
have
always
one
tell
thing
you the truth.
I don't know if it's a fault of mine or a good thing. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm not
Mm.
an easy person to get to know. And
Oh,
yeah, I'm not,
okay.
because as soon as I
Hmm.
find any kind of weirdness in you, as soon as I find that you attract extra drama for no reason,
Oh,
keep in mind I'm polite. Oh, good morning. Oh, thank you
yeah.
so
Hmm.
much. But I don't want to get to know I don't want to get to know you if you are just extra for no reason. But
Hmm.
my absolute closest friends, they will pull me to the side and say, listen, you were wrong for that.
Hmm.
I know who you are and I know what you were thinking, but
Hmm.
think about this. And so I appreciate people that are going to be honest with me, not
Absolutely.
especially when they have nothing to gain. You're retired, you have nothing to gain by being
Hmm.
honest with me. And so I appreciate if, hey, we're connecting here on YouTube and I love that.
Me
But
too.
I will take everything that you say with openly, because I know that you're
Yeah.
giving me, you could tell it to your kids. Who am
Hmm.
I? I'm just some avatar right now. You haven't even seen my face. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but I hear you, and it's crazy because just going on that, you say you have a couple of friends, right? And you appreciate when they come to you authentically, and they be like, "And come
Yes.
on, girl, you was wrong," or whatever,
Hmm.
however they might come at you, and I'm not saying this because I'm sad about it, because I'm not. So I don't have any friends, right? And so I had my last friend, just I cut her off maybe 4 months ago, because and she didn't need to be in my circle for this long anyway. She's a CNA, and I met her at a hot, on the floor and stuff. And for all these years, I'm going to school, I'm doing this, and I'm like, okay, okay. She's that type of person. She keeps talking about, but nothing never changed. So we're 15 years in now, and she's still saying these same stuff, and I'm brutally honest, but I knew she was a little sensitive, so I'm adjusting what I want to say to her accordingly. So I've been doing that the last 2 years or so. So now it gets to a point where it's like, girl, you've been talking the same stuff for 15 years. You not gonna do nothing. Just face up to, or whatever it may be. I say, you drinking more. I say, you got a son husband. I said, you doing that, boy. I said, that is wrong. He is 26. We was on FaceTime, and he walked in, and he got his boxer shorts on, no shirt. She fixing him a drink, alcohol drink, and cooking dinner.
What?
Yes. I said, girl, what the hell you doing? Is you that's your husband. And I
Mm.
said, that is your son. Oh, Kyia, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, I see it, because it's just
Hmm.
now she's getting worse. And then I'm like, and then so I calmed myself. I said, Janine, oh,
Oop. Oh. Oop.
I said, girl, you shouldn't. That is not appropriate. I said that is not a good. Because I purposely calm myself down, because she is sensitive a little bit, and so I said that's not appropriate. Blah blah blah. So then she got kind of quiet, and I said, well, I'm gonna go, and then she said, okay, but I got one thing to say. And I go, what? She said, it's because of you. You think you better than everybody else. She just go on this whole sequely. How do you
Soliloquy.
soliloquy? How do you say
Hmm.
it?
Soliloquy.
soliloquy, she goes off on a whole tangent on me. And I
Yes.
was like, okay. I said, thank you. She's like, it's your fault, all this other stuff. And you talked to me. I said, I let her finish. I said, thank you so much. I said, at this point, I will be cutting off this friendship and I never want to hear from you again. I'm done, because she has done this multiple times before. But I say all of that to say this. I can't appreciate someone in my life. First of all, I was picking the wrong friends for a while, and I'm just learning that you need to pick people that are doing as well or better than you to help
Shout out to Anton
elevate you.
Daniels. Yes. Mm-hmm.
hmm And because I wanted to help her. I wanted her to get stronger. I was believing in her more than she did. But anyway, so it got to the point to where, okay, I had to cut that off, let it go. And then I end up in saying there too, I said, you're not even on my level. I said, I've been doing all of this for you and all this stuff. So I told myself that, and I never was a person that had a lot of friends. People can't handle my mouth. Not that I'm mean. It's just that I'm too real. And I know at certain points that is not good. And I need to I try to pull back and think sometimes before I speak, but it's just me. So when I start thinking, well, I'm accepting you and whatever faults that you might have that I don't like. So why can't you accept me? I don't mean no ill will. I'm not coming from a bad place. And I'm not talking about serious things where I'm going to people, it's
Right.
something silly. It's something
Right.
like, it ain't even that
Can I ask you a
serious.
question? Was she a Black woman?
Yes. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Was she
Yes.
from America? Was she from an island?
Oh no, yeah, no, she was right here. She grew up
Hmm.
in Watts, and she was raised by. She had a lot of trauma. She did.
We
She was
all
raised
do.
by her
There's no one
grandmother.
walking. If you are
Thank you.
35, 40, and above, you have trauma.
Yeah,
There's no one
she
here
was
that doesn't.
39.
Some of us are worse than others, but
Mhm.
every single one of
Mhm.
us, we're walking around with
Mhm.
trauma.
What
So,
trauma? And it's how okay, and I'm gonna keep it to her, but some people they like to wallow in that. They like to have those pity parties. That's what they live for, to share that story again and live in that moment. I'm like, girl, I cannot hear it one more time. I can tell it better than you. Please, I can't. And I told her, I don't. I say, you're choosing to live there. I cannot live there. That's just not me. I've been through things in my life, and yes, everyone doesn't respond the way I do. I don't hold on to things. I've never been that type. By the grace of God, I go through whatever is intended for me to go through it. I learn, I embrace it. I whatever meditate, whatever you want to call, and then I get what I was supposed to get from that lesson. Then I go on
right,
you know and I do share my life. It's not a point to where I want a pity party. My purpose for sharing is I know it's going to help others. I know I'm not the
exactly.
only one who's gone through this, who's made this decision. Or someone might hear my story and be like, oh, I remember Kyia shared this, she did this. Whether it could help them to choose not to or to do it, it doesn't matter. But we're all here to share our life, what we've been through, life experience.
Right,
That's our whole purpose. And I never had that. I'm an only child, and this is not a complaint at all. I love my whole entire life, but everything I've been through in my life and have learned is because of an experience, a mistake or not a mistake,
right,
whatever it is. Even with me, absolutely everything I had, I lived to learn. I was never verbally, how you have someone to share with you or talk to you, and
right. You had to go
we
through it. You had to walk the
I had to
walk
go
in
through
order to.
I had
Right,
no foundation, no one. Just like I didn't even. This one guy I was talking to, and he had recently got married, and we were sharing something about past when we were younger, and he's like, well, all these women, they're saying their body is a temple. And then he's going on. I was like, well, no, I didn't grow up knowing that. I said, no one told me that. I didn't realize that until I was in my like early 40s or late 30s. I didn't grow up thinking that my body was a temple, and stuff, because no one shared. Well, that's not the verbiage we were using, in church or the church I went to or whatever. And he was amazed at that. And then, you go through certain things. I didn't have like my mom coming to me, this is how a man's supposed to treat you. I didn't even have friends telling me this. I didn't have a sister telling me this. I had no
And so
one
what did you do,
telling
Kaya, to
me.
figure these things out? How did you,
Hmm.
what was your source? Did you go to the library? Did you talk to people? Like, how did you figure these things out?
Life experience,
Just through making the mistakes
100%.
and figuring it out that way.
Hmm.
Hardcore. Okay.
Hmm. Every absolutely everything in my life that has happened and then that I have learned from has been from experience. I've never been told by anyone, like had a friend like, girl, whatever. I don't even know how to make up it because I never had it. I've never
Hmm.
had conversation with anyone that fed into me personally on any type of level. Just like
So you never
men,
had a mentor. Never had a
never had a
mentor.
mentor.
Do you have a
Never.
mentor now today? Do you have a mentor?
No. No, I
Girl.
just I guess like I would say because up until now, like getting into these YouTube streets, I'm learning a lot. But going through life, even though I didn't have a mentor, I know a lot. I mean, and from experience. So it's not something that I just read. And then I went to college, so I got that experience for 5 years and, different things there. And a lot of different people start coming in my life from that and working in these, very high affluent hospitals. And I know how to adapt to different social situations and things like that. So I mean, life has taught me everything I know. Everything.
Wow.
Hmm.
I hope that you still will find a mentor some way, somehow. I do.
Yeah. And see now, and I will absolutely. I totally agree with that. See, I like you saying that versus you need a therapist. I'm like, but why do I need a therapist? And stuff. Because I hold no ill will. I don't know. I love life. I love me. I fell in love with me at 30 and I probably love myself too much.
But
Type
you
of
look
thing.
beautiful. You look
Thank
beautiful, and I love the
you.
freckles. I have a couple of freckles on my nose. I love freckles.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
I was tormented for these freckles
What? They're so
when I
cute.
was younger, and then it would only be older men when I was younger. Oh, girl, look at those freckles. And then when I became adult, got older, it's like, oh, okay, But I was married my whole adult life, so
Yes.
my first marriage and my second marriage, but yeah, it wasn't
Mhm.
like it is now. It's like, girl, look at those, and I'm like, gosh, I never had all that before.
I can relate because I had a huge gap in well, my teeth were not straight. So I had, oh, mine was huge,
Uh,
huge. And I had a crooked tooth. And so I do speak a little bit about it. People, I've documented a little bit about this. How,
mm-hmm,
you know, how men come up to you, hey, girl, smile. You beautiful girl, smile. And I was embarrassed to smile because I
mm-hmm,
felt like if I smile, I wouldn't look as cute. I'd be, I just didn't, I wasn't secure about the smile. And so
mm-hmm.
I remember in school, people would say, "Oh, I'm conceited." People would, girls, guys would say that I'm snotty, I'm conceited. But truthfully, it was insecurity because I thought that if I smile, I would look funny. I was just insecure about the smile. And my parents could not afford to, or I don't know if they could afford it or they didn't see the value in it because when you're talking about parents that come from a Caribbean island, if you have a problem with your tooth, they just pull it out. They just, you got a problem with your tooth, pull it out.
And don't replace it.
They don't know nothing about that kind of stuff. My mom hasn't finished elementary school.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. You did
my
say an outhouse
father,
and stuff.
yeah, I mean, thankfully they've done really well for themselves, and I'm very proud of who they've become.
Absolutely.
But they're raising children here in the United States, and they have never been to, as a child, they've never been to a dentist. Never. So here they are raising children and what crooked teeth, spending money on wires. I mean, the tooth doesn't hurt you. The tooth is not causing you any pain. It's not infected. And you want me to spend thousands of dollars to fix it because it's misaligned? This is crazy. Crazy talk, And so I don't know if they had the money or maybe just didn't see the importance of it. But when I became an adult, I fixed my own teeth. I spent thousands of dollars fixing it. But I only say that to say that sometimes we have insecurities that people are perceiving in a different manner than how
Mhm.
we intend. Like I didn't smile because I was insecure. I didn't
Yeah.
smile because I thought I was uglier with my teeth being spacey and crooked. And
Mhm.
meanwhile, it wasn't my intent to seem as if I was snobbish. It wasn't my intent to seem if I was stuck up or too good to smile or to seem unfriendly. But nevertheless, that's how I was perceived.
Right.
Right. So, and no fault to the world. How are they supposed to know? Are they responsible for knowing my whole life history? They're not responsible in the 5 minutes that they've encountered, had this interaction with me to dive into my whole family history. That's not their responsibility. And so I felt it was important for myself to, go ahead and fix it so that I can smile with confidence and interact with other people with confidence and not allow that to be a barrier in introducing myself to people and not allow that to be a barrier into connecting with people and allowing people to see that like I'm smiling with you because I'm with you, because I enjoy you. I'm not smiling because I'm stuck up because I just want to take that
Mhm.
barrier away from myself. And so I invested.
Yeah,
I thankfully
that's
I had
good.
enough money to do so. Not everyone does. And I only
Mhm.
mentioned that story because it's an easy fix. There are other things that we do in our lives that it's not so freaking easy.
Right.
You
Right.
can't, I can easily go to an orthodontist and fix my smile, but how do I fix other traumas or other things that are not so easily misaligned in my life? And so people are walking around here hurt, frustrated, upset, and it's not easy to fix. And so we perceive people as being angry. We perceive them as being frustrated and, oh, you got a bad attitude, girl. But we don't
Mhm.
really know what's going on. And I can only speak for my community and the people that I've interacted with. And I can tell you that sometimes this notion of being independent really is detrimental to our own well being because we will be so independent that we will sit in silence and suffer in silence when just opening your mouth and saying, I need help, or opening your mouth and saying, this is why I do what I do, so that people can understand and relate and maybe just help you. I'm not saying that you have to be an open book for everyone because not everyone, let's be real, not everyone has your best
Mhm.
intent. But if you find someone that's genuine, that you can trust, that might not have the answer, but know even where to find the answer, that in itself, if you can just open yourself up, not you yourself, Miss Kaya, but
Oh, no, I
others,
got
just in
you.
general, yeah.
Got
If
you.
we
Mhm.
as a community can just let our
Mhm.
guards down a little bit and not be so independent where it hurts us in being able to
Mhm.
be active in our community and being able to give back and being able to even receive help. Right?
Right.
Those are the some of those are just some of the things that I speak about, life
I
lessons that
love
I speak
that.
about, and I don't have all the answers. Oh, I'm trying to figure things out too. One of the things I know that
Absolutely.
I have to work on is I have such hardcore borders on things that because I'm skinny. I'm a
Okay.
hundred and I vary between 125 and 135 in that
And
space.
how tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was skinny. Well, I don't wish I was skinny,
Right.
but I wish. Oh no.
Right. And so people, people don't really sometimes I feel like take me seriously because oh, what can I do besides run off at the mouth? What can I do? I can't do
Your
nothing.
tiny self, huh?
My
Say,
little
look at that.
small self. What can I do?
My
Right?
daughter is very thin.
Yeah, and if I'm trying to give advice about eating healthy, no one's trying to pay attention to anything that I have to say because I don't know that journey. They don't, like I haven't had
Exactly.
to lose a whole bunch of weight. Is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying factual? Sure, but who cares? People
Exactly.
can't connect with me because I don't relate to them in terms of having to do. So I mentioned those things just as a bridge to mention that there are things in each of our lives that we struggle with. That hey,
Yeah.
I might be factual, but you might not be able to connect with me for the simple reason that I'm a black nurse. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
some patients are able to connect with me. It doesn't mean that any other person wasn't going to give you the facts and the information that you needed,
Mm-hmm.
but for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, some of us are able to connect. And one of the things I want us as women, us as black women, us as just people on earth, just to let a little bit when you find someone that you can connect with, whether they're younger than you, whether they're a different race, a different sex, it doesn't matter. If you can somehow open up just a little bit and grow, whether it's mentally, professionally, financially, whatever, just open ourselves up a little bit. I know for sure I have borders up, and I have to work on bringing down some of those borders. I put those borders up to protect myself because let's be real, I'm from the Bronx. Okay, I'm from
Mm-hmm.
the Bronx. I'm from New York City. I got my mean mug down. When I'm walking those New York City streets in the South Bronx, I'm not to be effed with, you know? Now, that's just a facade because I know how to carry myself or whatever. But anyone could do anything to me. Who's to say that? I'm not going to be a victim. But I'm out there trying to mean mug and act hard just because I know what it takes in order not to be I'm aware of my surroundings. But I say that to say that, I just hope that as we transition into a better livelihood, not to take some of that baggage. Like it would be ridiculous of it's hard for
Mm-hmm.
me not to keep those barriers up that protected me so well when I was in the
Mm-hmm.
Bronx, living in this neighborhood now in which people are on they park their cars and their doors not even locked. I'm like, what are you doing out here? You know? And so I carry some of those old habits into this new space. And I just, in general, I want people to let a little bit about their guard down in the spirit of growing, not
So
just
have you?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
Go
right ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, no, that's about it. That's basically it. Yeah.
I was, and while you were speaking, I was thinking back when you had mentioned that it takes a while for a person for you to let your guard down, to let people in, to get to know you, and different things like that. Where does that stem from? Your childhood growing up in the Bronx, or like how you were discussing about your confidence, maybe like with your teeth or being very thin, or what do you think that part of your personality
I think it comes from a
stem from?
multitude of things. Yeah, I think
Okay.
it comes from a multitude of different things. I think it comes from, yeah, growing up in the Bronx,
Okay.
definitely. I think it comes from being a woman. A lot of men, I don't know, men don't treat, not all, don't treat women with the same respect that they treat other men. Two men are talking, they have a certain amount of respect for one another. And I'm making a broad statement here. This certainly doesn't
Yeah.
apply to all men, but at least when you come from a Caribbean background, women aren't given the same respect. And it also comes from just trying to protect myself, you know? And
From what?
so if I'm running around, I'm scared of someone grabbing me. I'm small. I'm a small statured person. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
afraid of people being bigger around me, grabbing me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. I do carry a gun. I won't lie, but do I want to?
Mm-hmm.
I've dedicated my life to saving lives. I don't want to have to end anybody's life. I've paid student loans trying to save other people's strangers' lives. But it
So
comes from being,
you,
yeah.
so your environment where you grew up, and I'm just curious.
Yeah, go right ahead. I'm candid. I'm open.
So this from your environment growing up, you it sounds like were you like surrounded by a lot of you were fearful growing up then by your surroundings. Am I
I mean,
hearing you right?
I grew up in a Caribbean culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that I was fearful. I feel like I knew my place because it was very well known. Like here in America, I feel like oftentimes a woman will like assault or slap or do something to a man with them having no expectation that something's going to be done to them. I knew I'd get effed up. I'm not saying that I'm supposed to hit a guy. I'm not supposed to do anything. I'm keep my
Yeah.
hands to myself. But men assault women in the Caribbean. Okay. And
Just because.
I wish I could bring my mom and my mom's. I wish I could bring them on there because they can speak to
Uh,
that much. I'm not saying it's right.
oh,
I'm just saying that this is what this is the place that I grew up with. I'm not. I have no. This is just what I was used to seeing.
yeah.
Like
But
my
so
mom
like
never
you
assaulted my
never
father.
saw.
My mom never assaulted my father. My father never assaulted. But I saw women being assaulted. I saw women being abused. If
Oh.
there's no, I never abused anyone, but I kind of felt like I was raised on knowing my damn place.
So in the Bronx where you live, was there? It was wherever you was living, like your whole neighborhood were people from the Caribbeans. Am I understanding that
Yes, I
correctly?
grew up in a mostly
Oh,
working class Caribbean neighborhood. Yes.
gotcha. Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
people were from Jamaica, people were from Guyana, people were from all different kind of nurses, teachers, or working class neighborhood
Hmm.
accountants, all people that owned houses. They,
Okay.
working class families,
All in the
and
same facility, right there together.
just together, yeah, we were a
Oh, okay.
community. Yeah, I'm glad that she said that I'm a Trinidadian and I can testify to this. Yeah, but not, it's not a joke. It's not a
Yeah.
joke. So the barriers that I built, it's not just for my safety, but sometimes it's like when you're a child, you speak when spoken to.
Yeah.
When you're in the company of adults, be quiet. Don't talk. There's just certain things that I grew
Mm,
up with that I'm learning that might have been good, and some of them might not have been so good. They might not have served me very well. Some of them might
yeah.
have served me very well. And so, as a first generation child, and that's what I am. Both of my parents, my father, my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, uncle, and everyone. I'm the first person in my family to be born here in America.
Oh,
Even though I'm
okay.
black and I look
Hmm.
like a regular African American,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
can't 100% identify with some of the African American culture because I come
Hmm.
from a Caribbean culture. So,
I think here in America, we really don't have a culture like that
yeah.
that I identify with, or us as Black people here. That has a
Right,
few generations here. Yeah.
right. And so there's just a lot of different things. I mean, in terms of the barriers, sometimes it's to protect myself. Sometimes it's just because I feel like I don't understand, I can't relate to certain things. Like as an African American or Caribbean American, I can't relate to some of the things, so oftentimes you're told to shut up, be quiet, just certain things. But I'm working on that. I realize that sometimes that
Hmm.
has served me, and sometimes I feel like I need to just open myself up just a little bit more because I see that there's so many wonderful people that have no
Hmm.
ill intent, that are just curious about you, and
Yeah.
so yeah, that's why I love YouTube so much.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, KN Bram, if you want to come up, or just, what is it called that
Yeah.
you're doing? And
I don't even know what this thing is
like,
called. Like,
just
just
you don't have to put your
yeah.
face up there if you don't want, but I will post it again, and you're more than welcome to come up here with us. We would appreciate that
And
if
I'm
you would
curious
like
to
to.
know also if she's a first generation kid,
Oh,
because
okay.
oftentimes Black Americans will talk about the differences between African Americans that grew up here and
Uh-huh.
Caribbean Americans. And there really is. Well, listen, to the police, we all Negroes, right? Okay. They can't tell the
Right.
difference. We all
Yeah,
need,
all the same,
we're
all
all
the
the
exact
same. But
same.
as it pertains
Exactly.
to how we talk about one another, how we carry ourselves, like for me, getting a little bit overdressed for every occasion is standard, right? When I come to church, I had Easter clothes, Sunday shoes. We would not come as you are. And there's just certain things that we do. Walk into my house, there's an expectation that you're going to take your shoes off. And if you don't, then there's going to be a problem, right?
Wow.
Just little certain
Mhm.
things that,
Yeah.
that, I don't know, that's just different. That's just different.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's why I love YouTube so much because we really get to see the differences between each other and really reach out and get a better
Exactly.
understanding.
Is your what does that say? Okay,
Decorum. Yeah.
so
She's saying yes, decorum, like a certain
I
way
think
that we
it's a
carry
male.
ourselves. Oh, that's
I
a guy?
I think it's a guy because did you see this comment? It says 5 sons, and it stops once we came of age. So
Oh, okay.
I think he's a male. Are you a
Okay.
male? Look, you should just come on out,
Come on
brother
up,
or
talk.
sister.
Yeah. Oh, he's a
Yes,
guy. You're right. He's a guy.
it's a guy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Uh huh. Well, you're more than welcome. You don't have to show your face.
Yeah, he
What
can
is he
just
saying
take the
yes
cam
to?
off and come on up and share
Mm-hmm.
a little bit because I love hearing from the men.
Absolutely. So, this whole, the person who I started this for, he didn't even show up. But it's all good. I don't know if you seen the beginning. I just came on rambling and just talking. And then Bonnie showed up and she would start talking about my other channel. And then you came up and I'm loving it. And we've been on here like an hour and 40 minutes having great conversation. And I love
Mhm.
this so much because even though it's like this, it really feels like, I mean, of course, in person is ultimate, but this is like really the second best. It's like, and then just
Yeah.
getting the vibe, even though I can't see you,
You will
I'm
see
still
me.
getting
I'm
the
sorry.
vibe.
It's
Oh,
just
I'm
2 o'clock. It's
sure.
2:45, and so I'm about to pull these rollers out, but I will. Yeah, I'll come back
Oh,
another
yes. No,
time. And I'm a real person. I have
absolutely.
a channel. You see me I'm very, it's easy to find me. It's easy to find my face. I'm not just an avatar. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm
no, no.
very,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, I totally,
yeah,
totally believe that. But yeah, but it's good. It's a good vibe. And I'm just another thing like with me with nursing and with school and everything, I really didn't grow up around black people.
but we have to talk
And
about that. I got to
huh?
find out about that. So where did you grow up? Tell me. You know what? Can I hit pause for just like I want to
Yes.
tinkle? And I
Yes. You
want to
know what?
hear
I
all
will too.
about
And we'll see if
okay,
RN or
it
KN will
comes
come up.
up. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna hit mute and I'm
Okay,
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
right
stay here
back.
till you come back and
Okay, great. I want to hear
close out
about
the door
that.
and
Ooh,
stuff.
yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right, KN, do you have any questions? I initially cammed up because one of my subscribers, we had been texting or chatting back and forth, and I said I'll put up, and do a live stream and answer any questions. He didn't show up, but we've been having a great time. I've been answering questions, me and Candid Ann, we've been talking and sharing. So it's been fun, we've been up here for a while. So if you have any question and you don't want to come up, you can just type it there and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Or if you want to share anything you want to do. Where do you live, KN? If you're still here. I wish you could tell like who's here and who has left. I haven't figured. I don't think you can. I can't see who's actually here. But if you're still here or whoever's here, where are you guys from? I live in Cali, and I live in what's called like the IE, the Low Desert Inland Empire area. But I grew up in Compton. I grew up in Compton, California. I didn't grow up there. My family grew up there. That's our family area is Compton, California. I basically grew up, they used to call it South Central. And I went to school in the Valley and all that. But I'm going to wait to Candid come back because that's where we kind of was leaving off. And yeah, who's there? Who's in the house? Oh, we got another Brooklyn. Oh, okay. And she grew up in Brooklyn doing a graveyard shift at ATM. What is that like the automatic money machine? Or what? We was just talking about Brooklyn. And she was talking about, oh, you probably caught that part because you said yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a little slow sometimes. Yeah. Okay. So great. Great. Are you out there working alone or ATM? Is that an Amtrak? Amtrak or is it a Oh, okay. Tobago? I'm a terrible reader. Is that Tobago in Trinidad? Okay. That's what Ann was talking about. Wow. This is like such a small world, here and just meeting people and able to talk like this and share at the moment. What is at the moment? Originally from Trinidad. Yeah, what is the AT? That's not the ATM thing. This one, ATM. Is that like a Amtrak or because we call that like the Amtrak out here in California, or is it the ATM, the money machine? Doing a shift at the moment. And how old are you? We got to get all the questions. You're our first gentleman tonight, and we love hearing from the men's and all that good stuff. I'm gonna have us. I got a banana. I've been hungry since I have to wait and take some time. Who else is here? It says two people. So is that Ann and Bram? Oh, at the moment. Oh,
Oh, okay. So KN is working at the moment. Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was a place. I thought it was the ATM machine or okay. And if you go, I'm gonna run off and as you say, Tinko.
Yes.
He's from Brooklyn as well. I didn't know
Oh,
if
okay. My
you
husband's from Crown Heights. My husband is also from Brooklyn. I'm not sure what part of
are
Brooklyn he's from.
yeah, he's
And what does he do
was
for a living?
41 on Thursday. Oh, that's his age. I asked him his age and everything. Okay.
Okay. And so what do you do for a living, Mr. KM? Are you that you're working the graveyard shift here?
I don't know how to okay.
So I guess this is so okay, wonderful. I guess I'm taking over a little bit Mrs. Kaya's StreamYard here. But while she is taking care of business, I'd like to find out a little bit more about you, Mr. KM. What do you do for a living? And congratulations on your birthday. Congratulations. On Thursday, you made it to 41. That's wonderful. I'm 46, just, sharing a little bit about myself here. I'm 46. Although I'm very proud of being 46. However, most people don't think that I'm 46 when they meet me in real life. Oh, okay, maintenance. Wonderful. We need you people. We need maintenance workers. I have to be honest with you. Do you watch Kevin Samuels and all of this talk about high value men? And the reason why I'm mentioning that right now is because on my channel, one thing I haven't done so yet, but one of the things that I would really like to speak about is the everyday man. So much talk is given about like high value men, but I'm married to a regular dude, happily married for 16 years, been together for 24 years, and he doesn't make $100,000. And we're happily married out here, living life, doing well. And even Kevin Samuels, he'll admit, or he will give you the factual data, the statistics regarding the fact that most men, especially black men, they're not going to make that six-figure salary for at least five consecutive years in a row. But it's important to still have wonderful relationships. Oh, you're in the manosphere. Okay, so you know Mr. Kevin. Yep. So are you married? I want to know. because one of the things that I find very, very, very not spoken about is the regular guy. How does he operate today? The regular man who's not making six figures. Is your wife contributing to the household? Do you still expect her to submit even though she has to drop it like it's hot, cook and clean the house? I'm just curious. I don't think that there is more than one way to have a relationship. I'm open to the fact that what works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. But,
Hmm.
I was just
I
yeah.
was. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nan.
No,
Go ahead.
I was just talking to while you were gone, I was just speaking
No,
to
I
him
heard
about the
you. I
fact. Oh, you did?
appreciate
You
it.
heard?
Hmm.
Oh, okay,
Hmm.
fabulous. How did you hear?
I can hear you even though I'm on mute.
Oh, but when you went to the restroom, you were still able to hear me speaking?
I
Oh,
have it
okay.
like the way I have it set up. Well, actually, I'm in my room. I have a huge room, and so the bathroom's just right down, right there,
Oh, okay,
and I have
okay.
it on the computer, so I can hear it. And yeah.
I see, I see.
Oh, he's single, and what is this one? Oh, okay. Uses idea of high value men to show women the most of them can want what they want, but they don't qualify for. Yeah,
But
yeah.
the
I
thing
think
about it is that most men aren't high value. So why are we even having this long
exactly.
ass conversation when most of you guys are not high value? The broad majority of you guys are regular dudes. So why not just speak
I
to the
think
regular dude?
I think his point is what he's saying here is that Kevin Samuels is trying to show these women because they're all asking for these high value men and they think, they can get this and that's what they want. They don't want to work. They don't want old common Joe Blow or something. So he's showing them, with these conversations by like, you don't even qualify for one in the first place, but in the second place, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know what it takes to get there. If
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not
I
saying it
see.
right,
I
um
see.
okay, yeah. And then they keep coming there, like, well, this is what I want, why can't I have what I want? And a lot of them are delusional. To me, I be cracking up.
Absolutely. Isn't it
This
sad to
one
see so
girl
many
on
young
there,
ones so delusional?
I know. And I was like, I don't think half of them know the value of money because it's like, well, yeah, 250,000, like it ain't nothing. I'm
Like that's
like,
just
wait,
easy to come
girl,
on by.
yes. And I'm like, I've been a nurse for years and I haven't hit no 250,000, in one
Hmm.
year. And I'm like, I don't think half of them know the value or have not even thought about it. So I think it's really good, and he's entertaining and all this stuff. But like I can't like consistently just sit through episode after episode with him because I can almost tell by the way he's questioning and how they answer what he's going to say. But I believe I haven't heard anything yet he has said that I disagree with. I haven't, but I haven't listened to all his stuff. But yeah, I totally agree with him when he's saying, I wish I would have. No, I don't wish. I'm glad how my life went and where I am today, but it would have been very much different if I had this information before my life. And I'm very excited to see this, that I've come into this world and see this. I think it's a great thing. The only thing that I really don't like, and I'm sure it's probably most people, is when people jump to conclusion and they do all this talking in there, saying things that, for one, is not true, it's just nonsense. And just harp, like in my comments, I just have like these men in there like just saying these terrible things, which okay, I can care less, but wonder if they come across that person to where it affects them, and then they don't have no clue what they're talking about with that person. That's the only thing I really don't like. And I'm glad that I have like the thick skin. It doesn't bother me because I'm like, you don't know me, I don't know you. What, you sound crazy,
Right.
and it's that type of thing. But I do think about the person that it may, Yeah, well, they shouldn't be out here in these streets if they can't handle it. Though, for one, I guess we could say that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. But I love it. I absolutely, I love every aspect of it. I don't know why this light keep changing. I'm telling you, I'm not changing colors.
It looks fine. It
No,
looks
oh,
good.
you don't see it getting brighter and going low.
Not too much. No.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm-mm.
But yeah. So, did you want to say anything about that, Miss Ann?
About Kevin,
Yeah, about what he said, and yeah, anything about it.
I don't really like talking about Kevin, to be honest with you.
Okay,
Not
change the
that
subject.
not that I can't
On
talk
the
about
though.
Kevin. The reason why I don't like talking about him is because at this point in his career, he's very polarizing. And I feel like when you start speaking about the nuances of some of the things that I definitely agree with and some of the things that I do not agree with, people that follow him, I do not believe that most of them are high value men.
Oh
And
no.
on top of that, I don't think it really should matter. I understand his definition of a high value man, but I don't care. I'm interested. I mean, first of all, I don't have a dog in the fight because I'm happily married, thank God, and I've been married for a long
Mhm.
time. But I really think that we ought to be talking about the regular guy and having a certain amount of respect
Mhm.
for the everyday firefighter, the everyday truck driver. Like I think men are due a certain amount of respect regardless on if they're high value or not. So oftentimes when he's talking about these high value men, I just don't particularly care to talk about it because how many excuse me, how many women are really gonna meet a high value man? Like how realistic is that for the majority of us? So,
Mhm.
do I agree with
Mhm.
him that high value men have different standards? Listen, let me tell you that I'm not a woman that I make over 100,000, but even when I didn't, even when I made 50, 60,000, my standards for what I would accept in my life were still the same. And I can only imagine, I can't speak for men, but if you are a woman, if you're a man that's making currently $50,000, and let's just make it up, you see a woman that's acting really, I don't know, I guess the word is ratchet right now. I don't even want to use that word, but you see a woman that's really acting uh, outside of her character and just really just a bit much.
Or maybe it is her character,
Or
but yeah.
maybe it is her character. Maybe it is her true character. And
Mhm.
I don't think whether you make 50,000 or a
Mhm.
100,000, if your standard is that you are not going to deal with that type of person, that's your standard, whether you make 50 or 100 or 150. I'm only saying that because as a person that has made 50,000, 40,000, and over 100, over 150, that has been my standard. So, like these conversations about like you have to operate within a certain way because high value men aren't going to want you. I don't care about high value men. I care about a man that has a certain quality, a standard, and that standard is going to exist whether he makes 50,000 or 150,000. That's the
Mhm.
man that I want to be with. I don't care if you make 60,000 and you're a truck driver. I expect you to operate, to conduct yourself with a certain amount of decorum. I expect you to treat me with a certain amount of respect. I expect you to treat yourself, to carry yourself with a certain amount of respect and decorum. And how much money you make has absolutely nothing to do with it. So I'm not saying I don't agree with Kevin. I'm just saying that I have a different outlook
Yeah.
simply because I don't care about the high value man. I care about the everyday guy that I still think deserves respect, a certain amount of being treated like a man, whether he makes a certain amount of money, whether he has a network or not. I mean, we all have roles, right? We all
Mhm.
have, as a woman, I have a role in life. I don't think my role as a woman is more important or less important than a man. It's just a different role. And together we yin and yang and we help each other, we support each other. So I just come from it from a different perspective, and that's okay. You don't have to, like, a person doesn't have to
Mhm.
agree with me. You could, excuse me, you can take Kevin Samuel's um way of operating, and that's fine. I'm just coming at it from, yeah, and I'm not throwing any shade at him. I just
Yeah.
say that keep in mind that, yeah, I often hear that when I speak, Kevin, that I agree with Kevin a lot, but I would just say that for people that are out here, trying to get this high value man, dig a little deeper. Think about treating yourself with a certain amount of decorum and respect, and not passing over brothers that make $80,000, that make $75,000. Like, I can tell you that my husband does not make he he's closer to 100 than he is to 50, so he makes a good salary, but every dime that's in his bank account, if I tell him I need all of it right now, it's mine. It's mine. He's not going to ask me why I want it. What do I need it for? He's going to say, "What do you need? How much? When do you need it by? Just take it out." Because we have a certain amount of love and respect for one another.
Well, what she's preaching right now is not anything he would agree with, Mr. KN. Do you agree with that? And I know she said, Ann said she didn't want to go on down this rabbit hole, but
No, it's okay. The only reason why I don't enjoy talking about him is because I think he speaks to a different demographic
exactly.
than
Okay, that's where I was about to go
yeah, because
because
I'm not a twice divorced 50-something-year-old living single in my house like he is.
oh wait, that's me.
That's okay, but but you're not on here giving advice on how you're not on here telling men how to level up. You're not over here telling people how to have marriages.
Oh,
You know what I'm
you talking
saying?
about him? I thought you were
Yes.
talking about the women.
No, no, no. And that's
Yeah, but I'm
okay.
telling you,
There's
he
nothing
got a
wrong with
good
that.
game. He got a good little hustle.
That's okay.
He
There's
got
nothing wrong with that. I'm just speaking from a married woman that has
yeah,
one marriage, that's been with the same man for over 20 years. And so I just have a
yeah,
different perspective. And I feel like there is more than one way to have a relationship. So
yeah.
if you
But
follow
the
his
people
subscription, it's
he's
okay.
talking to, that's what they because I'm sure you see him come up. Oh, did I didn't mute you, did I?
No, I'm trying
Oh,
to eat at the same time. So I'm
oh,
trying
okay,
to
go
mute
for
myself
it.
while I chew, and I don't want to like be on here being disrespectful. So
I
I'm
know I
muting
be
myself
forgetting
from time to
sometimes. I be
time.
on a panel and I be drinking. I be like, ooh, maybe I should mute myself. But I think the women that show up there, for one, they're not realistic, and for the most part, I think that is his audience are those type of women that are delusional. Well, from what I see, I'm gonna say because I've seen an episode or two, but I think the majority are, and then the men that are on there. I don't believe of course, a majority of them are not high value because he said there's only what less than 10%, isn't it like 3% or
Very
something?
little, but they still want you to submit. They still want you to cook,
Well, yeah,
clean,
and
drop
I
it like
think
it's
you
hot.
should. I think you should.
But how much submitting can a woman do in terms of a traditional woman and a modern woman? I'm only using his
Yeah,
definitions. I don't really believe
yeah,
in these terminologies necessarily, but just for the sake of simplicity.
hmm yeah. I
If
don't
I'm
believe a
working,
traditional should marry a modern. I think it should be tradition, or modern and modern
yeah, that makes
marrying
sense.
each other. Yeah,
But in today's
because
society, when you need two incomes and I have to work and my husband has to work, like, who's still cooking and cleaning? Who's
I
doing
think
all
the
of the
wife should.
cooking? All of the cooking and all of the cleaning, and I
No,
still
I
gotta
don't.
contribute
I wouldn't.
50%? I can't do
I
it.
would. But see, yeah, I just think I truly think that there are roles and that I am the one to take care of the kids, the house. It is a woman that calls the show that yes, that is true. That is true. Um, that is traditional role. So if we want to say, because see the way I just think naturally, your husband who you have decided to marry, it would blend. I believe that he would do his part. I don't know how I want to say he would do his part, but I think ultimately it is for the woman, even if she's working, to run the house, take care of the house, the kids, and of course, this your husband is going to balance it out. But I do think it lands on the wife for those type of things. Just like they say, if something's wrong with the bills, whether the wife is working as well, they're going to look like, what's going on with you, bro? Why is this going on? And then if these kids are, not well kept, not neat or clean, they're gonna look at you. What's wrong with you, ma? So I truly believe in the roles, but that man, that husband that you marry, he's going to do what it takes. He's going to be involved. I would hope he's going. That's why I couldn't stay in my second marriage, because it was no sense, no. It was nothing. I don't even want to talk about that. But anyway, yeah, I truly believe the husband, he would just do what needs to be done and pick up the rest, what needs to be done. But it wouldn't be expected of him to do it. I truly believe that. Yes. But I don't want to say it like you're kissing butt, because essentially I do believe you are a team, but I do totally believe in the man is the head and he is the leader. Yes.
And so who takes care of the finances? Let me ask you that. Who?
Okay, with that, I do truly believe okay, so now it's two ways that I think. Because initially, I would say that who's ever better at it, at managing the bills, but his money should be come in and do it. It should be both money. I think it should. Initially, that's what I think. I'll be honest. I think all the money should come together, and
So you believe in one bank account, even though like I might be making 30,000 and he could be making 150,000, all the money goes into one bank account?
I truly believe that. Yes, if you're married.
Girl, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it, girl. I can't do
But
it.
see, that's the thing. How can you call yourself one and whole, in my opinion? So why can't you do it? Because you're having a reserve just in case, or what's the purpose behind it?
Okay, so this is how my husband and I, this is how we've been doing it, and I will not do it any other way at
Mm-hmm.
all. I
Okay.
talked about borders and boundaries. This is a
Mm-hmm.
hardcore wall of mine, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to change. I love my husband. I can compromise on many things, but I will not compromise on
And
this.
this is something you guys have agreed upon, right?
We could agree or we could disagree, but it's not changing how I feel about it because it's gonna be down this way. Listen, there's not many times in my life where I'm gonna say something like this.
Yeah,
This
but
is one
before
of the
you say it, I just
yeah.
want to have this in my thinking before you say it. I want you to say it. Yeah. Whatever you're about to say, I
Yes, you're
assume for
asking
sure
me
you
if he
discussed
agreed
this
to
with
it,
your.
and I'm telling you whether he agreed to it or not, it doesn't matter because that's how it's
I,
going to be.
okay, I got it. Did you guys discuss it before you got married?
There was no discussion to have because this is the way it was gonna be.
Oh, okay. So, okay, one more question before you go.
Go
Do
right
he
ahead.
know now?
Hmm? Hmm?
Do he know now, whatever it
Of
is?
course. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
go for it.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
ready.
I'm very open.
Wow.
I'm
Okay, go for it.
extremely, extremely open and honest. I mean, I love like I said, it's not easy to get to know me. And
Mm-hmm,
for my
mm-hmm,
husband to have access to me in this intimate manner was a lot
mm-hmm.
of vetting that I did.
Okay. Girl, I'm
And
about to eat
so,
my banana. I'm going on
girl,
mute.
eat
I
your
want to
banana,
hear.
girl, eat your banana. I'm gonna tell you. So the way that, in terms of finances, I have my own bank account. I've had this bank account before I even know my husband's name. I've had it for that long. Okay, a checking, savings, 401, all that stuff. And my husband has his own bank account that does not have my name on it, his own checking and savings and all that stuff. And when we got together as a couple, we did a joint account that's called the house account. I put a certain amount of money in there. He puts a certain amount of money in there. And that pays for our common bills in order to have a life together. That pays for our mortgage, electricity, insurance, and utilities and all that stuff. And there's any repairs that need to be made, it comes out of that account. Now, I don't believe in 50-50 necessarily. There are times in my life in which my husband has made more money than me, and there's times in my life where I've made more money than him. I don't care about the 50-50 thing. I really don't. What if there's like when my husband, he had a healthcare crisis. I'll speak about this more, but he had a stroke back in 2019, and with the C19 thing, he was working in New York at a law firm, and he started working from home. And so winter came, and it was very important to me to have a generator because living here in Connecticut, there are times where we lose power. And normally, him and I are, we're fairly young. We're not senior citizens. And so if the power goes out for 1 or 2 days, I didn't care. We just, we'd be all right. But when he was out of work, recuperating, I did a crap ton of overtime. I didn't care that it came out of the house account. I was gun ho in getting a generator up in here because my husband, I realized he was more sensitive for some reason about the cold. And I was not about to have him in here recuperating and working from when he went back to work, it was working from home to be in this house cold. So I didn't care. I don't care about the 50-50. The 50-50 is basically for everyday life. But if I see something that needs to be done, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to work that overtime and I'm going to make sure that I hire another. It cost me quite a bit of money, but I don't care. And so, but in terms of my own bank account, if I feel like purchasing perfume, I love perfume. If I feel like purchasing a new camera, a new microphone, all this equipment. I think you can hear me well. This microphone costs money. All this equipment costs money. If I want to be on YouTube and this stuff costs money. I have StreamYard that's $25 a month. That costs money. I'm not answering to anybody because I've made my commitment. I've put the money into our house account and he's made the commitment. We've already put that money, so we don't have to argue about money. My husband loves comic books. They know his name at the comic book store. They have I don't have nothing to say about it. This mortgage is paid, these lights are on. Bro, you work for your money. I understand you are a whole individual. You have interests, you have things that you're interested in outside of our relationship. And so buy your comic books. Enjoy life. So that's what works for me.
Amen. Yeah, and see, and I don't know. I thought you was gonna say something more.
More dramatic?
Yeah.
No, like he has his own and we got to put 50-50. I don't care about the 50-50. I'm in here for the
How
long
do you
haul.
distinguish how much you put into the household account each time, or is there like a schedule or a certain amount, or do you just put
So it
whatever you think?
varies.
It
It
varies.
varies.
Okay.
Yes, sometimes there are times where like he has made more money than me. And
Mhm.
so it's sometimes a percentage. Like, I'll do a lot of math. I have an Excel spreadsheet. And I'm really good with budgeting, like really, really, really good with budgeting. And so it might be, just a percentage where like
So
the
you
percent.
tell him you manage that part.
Yeah, he leaves it up to
Hmm.
me. He knows me. If you know me in real life, you know how I am about money and I'm very fair. I'm not someone to try to take advantage of anybody at all
Hmm.
whatsoever. And
Hmm.
so he just when he gets paid, he's like, "How much money do I have on my account, babe? What did I get? When do I get paid?" He doesn't even know because I take care of it and I don't take not a nickel, not a dime, not a red cent out of his account and put into mine. It goes, I force him to save money into a savings account for himself. I force him to put money into a 401k for himself. And I put money from his account into my account. So there are times where I contribute more. If I do a lot of overtime at the hospital, you know how they have those little contracts, girl? How they have those little
Hmm.
incentive pays, girl? Yes. Right
I
now,
know.
right
Don't
now, the
bring that up,
incentive.
please. No, I'm kidding.
Right now, the incentive pay is like the highest we've ever seen
Mm.
at the hospital. So if
Do
I
they give you
work,
a bonus on top of it just
oh
for showing up
yeah,
too?
oh yeah, oh yeah. So if they have
Hmm.
these incentive pays and I'm taking advantage of all this overtime, Keep in
Mhm.
mind that I only work 3 days, so if I do that 4th day or that 5th day, if I'm really pushing to right, to get that generator, to hire the electrician, do
Mhm.
all that work, my husband's very supportive. He will, like, help me with meals and cook for me so that I can get out there and do these 12-hour
Mhm.
shifts. He doesn't care, and I'll contribute extra, so if I worked extra and I was out of the house extra, I might say, "Hey, babe, listen, first off, you and I, we going to dinner. We about to spend some of this money
Amen.
and we're going to dinner." But also I'll drop down without him even knowing. Let's pretend we both contribute $1,000. I'll drop down his amount to maybe 600 and I'll put 15 because I
Mhm.
worked the extra hours and he supported me. Without his support, I couldn't make it to the job. Without that food that
Mhm.
he made for me, I wouldn't have the energy. So we both benefit, right? I'm not
Mhm.
about to say like, "Oh, I made the extra money. You still gonna have to contribute these $1,000 and I'm gonna keep the extra money and pocket it for myself." Hell no. We're a team.
Right.
So
Right.
when I say that, but I'm not gonna be without my own bank account because neither am I stupid. I think I'm in love, and I've been in love with him for a number of years, but I'm not stupid. I can come home one day and be brutally surprised, and I'm not
Mhm.
about to have someone clear out my account. You know what I'm saying? All the overtime I done did and all this stuff I'm over here sacrificing for, and I'm not about to come on here and sacrifice and allow someone just just the ability to clear my account out and leave me with nothing, right? The most he can do is clear out our house account, but suppose for some strange reason, and I've never had this in my relationship because I'm very respectful and I demand a certain amount of respect and I treat people with a certain amount of respect. But let's just pretend I come home one day and my husband, I don't know, he's drinking or doing something crazy and slaps me, right? I have enough money in my account any day, anytime at all for any reason. If you abuse me, I'm not stuck. I'm here because I'm in love with you, because I want to be with you, not because I'm stuck and I couldn't find. I got first, last month rent on deck every time, every day of this year, all the time. But I'm here because I want to be with you, because I love you, because I want this journey with us together, not because I'm financially, I can't leave. Because financially, you play with me and I'll be gone.
Mhm.
Right? But it's
I
not
hear
about
you.
that. It's not about that. It's that I want to be with you. And so, like, I don't mind if there's a situation, like I said, he was down at that point when he had the stroke and out of work, and I don't care about, I'll put in the extra amount. But for the
Mhm.
majority of my life, he's made more and I've, made less and he puts in the majority. So it just really, it goes back and forth.
I hear you. Yeah. I mean, and that's a good point because I do believe and agree with what, for the most part, what they say. But ultimately, it boils down with what works for that family, that couple, that marriage. I truly believe that, of course, within standards and the bare minimum, not doing anything I did. I don't agree with that. But what works for you, I think is great. That's why when I hear all these new terms about the red pill, blue pill, a simp, a alpha, a beta, with all these terms, it's like I get it, I get it, but here we are once again labeling. Like we have to have a label for everything. And just because someone has this one trait of whatever it may be, that doesn't make them, I would say, like a simp. Just like on Lapeef Let's Talk, or Lapeef Network, how they be teasing Rilla sometimes. I be like, but I love the way he stands his ground, and stuff. Because I guess it would seem like, according to them, he comes across as a simp, and it's like, no, I think he is. He seems like he's an
Yeah.
amazing, man for what he's in for his relationship and stuff. It's not gonna work for everybody, but
Right.
it seems to work for his girl. But
Right.
but but I I love the community. I love it's not, I want to say diversity, but it really isn't, but it is, it seemed like there, a lot of the guys, to me, from what I've seen, and I haven't been here that long, it seemed like they're just like a follower. It's like I see like Kevin Samuels walking in the front, and they're all like when Moses was freeing the freeing the Egyptians
Yes.
from
Just
slavery.
blindly following him, just
Yes, like and
blindly.
then or even like there's a light on the back of Kevin Samuel's head, and they're just I'm being funny
Right, I
here.
understand you're being facetious,
That's
yeah.
the yeah, that's the visual I'm getting
But I
sometimes.
think
'Cause,
sometimes men apply those terms on a very surface level because what I want to talk about, and I'm gonna see if it's hard when you're working and I work overnight and I'm trying to be a YouTuber. It's sometimes difficult for me. But when people apply those terminologies, I really feel like they're talking about very surface level things. They
oh
when
yeah,
it as it pertains to you've been married and as it pertains to the nuances of loving someone, supporting someone, being in that everyday grind together, going through financial hardships and wealth together, going through for sickness and in health, dealing with real life things. My husband is no beta male. My husband is no beta male, right?
hmm,
But right now he makes less than I because I'm about to take advantage of all these incentive pays.
I hear you,
Okay.
girl. You better.
Right? But he still is warranted a certain amount of respect. But like if you let some of these manosphere or people, I'm not saying all, but you let them
Yeah.
tell it, as long as he's making less than I, he's a beta. Right. And
No, I
so
don't. You see, I don't perceive it that way. I thought you was going to say that he let you. They would say that you're managing. You might as well say you're managing the money because you have the spreadsheet. You say how much he's going to
because
do.
I'm good
I
at
said
it, yeah.
that they will say that part is beta, not that
Right.
he's making less
Oh,
than you.
okay. Okay.
Yes, they
I don't
won't.
okay. I see
Yeah,
what
because
you're saying.
yeah, they're fine with that, but he's a beta because he's not running the household.
You see, and I
He's
don't
not.
agree with that.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I do agree to the order and all this stuff, but ultimately I believe what works for you and your family and your relationship, your marriage. Each person is a little bit, different, and it works differently for whoever, so because like what you're doing, I would agree with that. If you manage the money better, and then the three accounts, his, hers, ours, um I personally is, especially since it works for you, but it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to other people. But just hearing that, if that's what works, and everyone is getting, both you guys are getting what you want out of it, meaning he's working and he's fine with it, and you're fine with. I think it's beautiful. I
Yeah,
really
we don't
do, and
argue
I
about money. Like he wants to buy comic
exactly,
books. I don't have to say, "What? You spent
yeah.
$50 on comic books this week?"
Hmm.
I could have
You don't
done
even
this.
know how
It's
much.
up to him. Because at the
Right.
end of the day, like I realized that this is still an individual that has interests outside of
Hmm.
me as
Hmm.
a wife, that has
Hmm.
desires and like just interests, just things that he's into before I even was a woman in his life. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I still expect him to enjoy certain things, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's what works for me. And I'm into photography. If he knew how much his photography equipment and all this camera
Oh, I
equipment and
know
all
that's
that stuff costs,
expensive.
but girl, it's very expensive. But I work
Yeah.
for it, and I've
Yeah.
made the commitment to put in to our home what is needed to be done. And so if I decide to spend $300 on a bottle of perfume, then that's my business.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's my business. But so that
So
works for us.
that's good. I want to say two things, and then I'm going on this show tomorrow.
Oh,
I don't know if
good.
you've seen it, but
No,
I
tell
want
me.
you. Yeah, it is. I put a flyer up too. I don't know if we're friends or follow each other on Facebook or Instagram. It's oh gosh, wait, okay.
I'll find
It's
you on Instagram. I'll find it.
security boss.
Oh, that lady. I know her.
Under
Okay. I
Yes,
just found
she
out about her.
Yeah, she reached out to me. And so tomorrow, well today now at your time it will be 8:30 then. Cuz it's 5:30 my time. Yeah. Eastern is 8:30 on her channel, and it's going to be four of us ladies on there talking about is it really that women have changed, or are they just kind of like promoting all the bad things, something like that. But it should be interesting. But yeah, I want to make sure I invited you over there.
Okay, yeah, I'll
And
see if I can check it out. If I'm not knocked out by it, then I'll definitely try to check it out. So
I
it's
know,
Security
huh?
Boss?
Yeah, Security Boss Unfiltered, because she has two channel, and one is
Oh,
Security Boss,
okay.
but then it's Security Boss, not unsolicited, unsolicited.
Security Boss Unsolicited.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I'm trying, I'm gonna go check out your channel for sure. And I'm still
I'm working
kind
on
of
I don't want you to look at my channel yet because you know what?
what?
I'm
Oh,
still
you don't
working
want
on
me
it.
to?
I mean, you certainly are welcomed to, but I feel like it's in such a transitional space right now where I'm trying to, if you just look at the last maybe 3 or 4 videos that might give you an idea on where I'm going. There are other videos on there. I don't talk about photography anymore. I don't really talk about natural
Okay.
hair
No, I
anymore.
just want to support you
Oh, of
too.
course. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I feel
Yes.
like in the next, my goal for 2022 will be to
Mm-hmm.
continue making content, just having
Mm-hmm.
conversations. It's called Candid Conversations that I have a little
Yeah,
segment that I'm working on called Candid
I love that
Conversations.
name.
Thank you. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on that, and so it's just so fresh and so new right now. I'm just trying to get used to StreamYard, get used to speaking, get used to like using this doggone microphone.
Girl, look at
And
my
so
videos. You see what I'm doing.
it's okay. It's okay.
I'm no clue. I'm just putting it out there. I
Yeah.
don't even edit it, and
Yeah.
stuff.
So I'm trying to
It,
do a lot. But so
yeah.
so what you see historically, like all of the like food tasting things, that won't be something. If you look at that and there's an expectation that you'll be receiving more of that, no, those are just older videos that I did with my
Hmm.
husband or with myself moving
And you don't
forward.
want to start a new channel because you got a lot of false
I like
subscribers
my
on
name
that.
so much. I like Candid Ann. I'm stuck. I am Candid Ann. Like that is like my
Yeah.
name.
Yeah. You can still keep the same name.
So I don't know. Maybe I should do a new channel. I'm figuring
Well,
that out. I don't
I
know.
don't
That's a
know
good.
the
That's a good thought.
benefits of the subscriber. I don't, I'm new at this, but I'm just throwing that out there
Yeah,
for you
that's an
because I
option.
hear what you're saying. You don't want
Yeah.
to be misleading in the beginning.
Yeah.
They're expecting, the food or the photography information, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, she's
Now I'm
not
moving
doing,
forward
yeah.
with something else and like, what is she? So like if you
Mm-hmm.
do check it out, I appreciate it. But you just look at the last few
Absolutely.
videos. Those last few videos is more the direction that I'll be taking.
I understand. I
Yeah.
got
So
you
sorry. Yeah. So
totally.
yeah.
That's why I have when you came on, I don't know if you heard me and Bonnie talking about the way the fasting
Mm-hmm.
um lifestyle thing. and
Mm-hmm.
and see, I have another channel. It's called Juss Kyia's Beauty, and on that one is more of like my thought was I only have 4 videos up there, but my thought was like the fitness, and I don't want to say like diet and stuff because I'm like calling it a lifestyle change, different things. So like the weight, the body, the hair, the skin. Not that I'm really, I don't wear makeup. People think I wear makeup, but it's though that's tattooed
Oh,
actually.
really? Wow.
Yeah.
You've got
And
wonderful
then
skin also.
they think I have eye shadow. That's the color of my skin. And I wear no makeup, but so I'm not going to talk about makeup because I don't wear it, but like skincare. Not that I
Right.
really do it, but I'm a star. I don't do. People ask me what you wash your face with. I'm like water and a towel.
I'm into
But
makeup. I'm into makeup. I love makeup.
you
I
are.
don't always use it, no, but
Hmm.
just from the photography background, even the avatar that you see right here, if you
Hmm.
see this, I have makeup on, and just even the lighting,
I
as you
wouldn't.
see the lighting going around like the bottom of my hair is very intentional. The lighting
I
coming off the top of
love
my face.
it.
So yeah, there's a lot of little things that I do. So makeup really enhances my photography, and that's how I got into makeup. just wanting to enhance my photography. And then as I got into YouTube, I wanted to look nice for the YouTube audience.
Absolutely.
So I do love makeup, but on a day-to-day basis, I have to wear this mask every day I go to work. So I don't even wear makeup anymore. I used
Right.
to, but I don't
I want
anymore.
to do a picture or something like that one day, like where someone makes me up, but I don't want to look made up, like yours. I wouldn't think you had no makeup on. It doesn't look like you do at all. It just looked like maybe the lighting is intentional, but see, I like that.
Right.
Like natural, but I would love one day I'm going to do like something like that, like a professional shoot and, be all glamorous,
Hey.
keep looking up.
That's right. I love it all. I love it when it looks over the top, and I love it when it looks natural. I love perfume when it's very subtle, and I love it when it's beast mode. It really just depends on,
Oh,
yeah, I love perfume that's obnoxious. Like, that's how I even found out about Kevin. I was subscribed to him
oh,
for the
wow.
perfume, for fragrances. So
So
when
you've
that,
been with him for a while.
yes, I didn't know that his channel would take this huge turn in talking about relationships. I was there for the
Mm,
perfumery.
wow. The
Yeah,
perfumery.
yeah, for the
I
fragrance, for
like
the love of
that.
fragrance. We both share
Yeah.
this love of fragrance. But anyhow, yeah, I will definitely do my best to tune in to you. I'm
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
working.
I forgot. Look, I didn't got back in
Ah,
time.
I
Thank you
know.
for bringing me back because I really need to take my dog. They keep coming out. They're here and they like we need to go out. You know
Oh.
it. Don't get mad at us if we have an accident.
Oh. So
Let me show
thank
you
you
what.
for
Adam,
having
come here.
me.
Come here,
Oh,
Adam. I want you to see. Oh, Brownie, come
let's
first.
see him. I used to have a oh,
Adam,
how
look here.
adorable. And what is
Adam.
this? This is
He's a multi poo.
a multi, what adorable dog. I wanted a dog also. I used to have a dog. If you really dig deep, you'll see my dog. He passed away.
Oh,
Ooh,
this
look
is
how
Brown Brown.
cute. Oh, they're
He
adorable.
really was the runt of the litter, and he ended up being the biggest one. And then one more, you got to see the mom. Okay,
Okay,
this
I'm
is
looking for
this is Layla.
Sh-
She's the
she's the
Maltese.
smallest.
Yeah, she's Maltese, and the father is poodle. So
Okay. What? They're so
yeah,
calm
this
and
chunky
relaxed.
monkey.
Didn't even bark once during the entire stream. I didn't even
Oh
know
no,
that you
I'm gonna
had
cuss them
dogs.
out. They know better. They so neat. They're like right up, especially since I've been home. They're just right there. And I'm like, move,
Oh,
bye, get away. But yeah, no. But yeah, I'm gonna take them out. But I appreciate you so much.
oh,
I
thank
thank you. Look, I'm
you.
gonna look at the camera. I thank you for camming up
Of
and
course, yeah.
and following me and I don't know. I just love this, and I'm like what Anton says all the time. It's just I want authentic people. I don't want just all these numbers or whatever. I want people here that truly, want to be and I don't want us all to agree because that's no
Yes.
fun.
Right, of
I
course.
want us to have different opinions, but I'm here. I really want to inspire and encourage and challenge. Us. I predominantly say women, but I have more male that come
Oh,
over.
really?
Yeah, I was looking at the what is it called? The stats. They call it
Analytics?
the analytics. Yeah, I was looking at the analytics, and you're not going to believe. So I have, and of course it came from that Kevin Samuel stuff, but I have 83% male and like views and all those hours you get. And then I have well, it can't be 83 because it comes up to 100. So maybe it's 70 something, but the women is like 21%.
Oh, okay.
So that's what the click and who comes in the graphic as far as gender.
Right.
But when it comes to listening, who I retain, it's a total flip. It's 86% women listen and men are only there like 10 minutes, you know what I mean?
Right.
11% of
I
the time.
see.
So it's
Mhm.
a total flip. But it showed today, like the guy who showed up today and the guy came. So they are involved too, which I'm surprised. So that's why I had to stop saying women because they're men, that come over too. But that is my purpose. That's what it all started with my podcast as well, just sharing authentically my life and different things that I have, because as I told you, everything is from life experience that I have ever learned. I've never been mentor. I'm going to use that mentor, or anything like that. But thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to
Thank
be
you
doing
for
this more
having
often.
me.
I'm going to build it while I fly it. Is that what they say? I'm going to fly it while I build it.
I don't know the saying, but I get the point. I do understand
Okay.
what you're saying. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
Kevin
understand.
Samuel says that we're gonna build it while we fly it or something. Okay, but have a good night.
Thank you,
And
thank you, thank you. Yeah, I
no,
appreciate you
thank
being on
you.
so late because people that work the graveyard shift like me can still, because I'm wide awake. So I appreciate you for being.
Me too. You know what? I'm going to do this more often actually because I am better at night. Because I'm not a early. I'm still waking up in the morning. Even though it's been some years, it's uncomfortable. I prefer nights. Like I can stay up all night with no problem. Go to sleep at 6, 7 in the morning like it's nothing.
Right.
And sleep just fine.
So
So
thank you
I
for
am
having
going to
me.
kind of
Yeah.
find my time here, and this might be my community here.
That's
So.
right. That's right. So thank you
Mhm.
so much. I'll be looking
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you in the morning.
Okay.
And thanks for having
Yes.
me. Take care. You'll see me from time to
Thanks
time.
for
I'll
coming.
try to. Well, if it's this time of night, I probably will have rollers in my hair, but I'll try to
Okay.
cam up from time to time. All right, Miss Kaya.
Oh, well, this
Take
is perfect
care.
as well.
All right.
Okay. Good night,
Take care.
and
Good night.
you too. Bye bye. Okay, you guys. It's been fun. I'm just going to end it out. Please subscribe if you made it this far through. Maybe you just fast forwarded through. But anyway, please subscribe, hit a like button or the thumbs up if you like it. If you didn't, I'm going to take my doggies out. And it's been fun. I appreciate you. And yeah, let's do this again. This is amazing. Okay, I'm silly. I'm getting delirious. Time for me to go to bed, I guess. Make myself go to bed. Okay, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's do this again. But however, let's make sure that we are inspiring people. We are encouraging others. And absolutely, let's challenge each other to become the very best us, to become the very best you. Let's live intentional. Bye. Time to go.